Oh yeah, I'll give it. Okay, we're live.
I found it.
Okay,
Ringtone.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Not so sure it's happy if Satan is wishing me a happy Easter. Just saying.
Hey, this is the day Jesus rose from the dead. Zombie Jesus, you know?
Yeah.
Didn't get a part of that.
Cool, we're live. We have no viewers.
a second tweet out.
This stream wasn't advertised, was it?
I don't think it was.
There, I tweeted out.
Does it really matter?
No.
Are you saying that you need an audience?
Okay, John tweeted out. Give me. Okay, so
Who's Mr. John anyway?
Brad, you were saying?
Oh, do children have the agency to consent to sex? Prepubescent children, do they have the agency to say, I want to touch this dick or not? No.
Well, let's go a little bit earlier than that. Why is Allison Rapp the person that you guys are criticizing?
Well, because she's advocated for decriminalizing child pornography for one, and then she's
on
also
Twitter has done that.
And a cherry on top.
Has anybody else on Twitter done that?
Well, I'm thinking cherry on top's advocated for decriminalized child pornography, but she's advocated for child agency, you know,
so who's
sexual
this
agency.
Cherry on top person?
She's that porn star that cosplayed as Vivian James at the Honey Badgers thing in Canada.
Oh yeah, that's a little bit obnoxious.
Yeah, and she's brought up the child sexual agency thing because I think the conversation about who is that, Muhammad or whoever, who had sex with his 9-year-old wife, Aisha.
Muhammad.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a couple of people on Twitter, right, who have opinions on this particular issue that you disagree with. What should be done about that?
Ban all of them. Remove the degeneracy.
Well, I mean, do you think a prepubescent child has the agency to say they want a dick in their butt or not?
Well, I mean, I know that you disagree with it, but what do you think should be done about it? What sort of activity should you engage in to criticize this opinion? Or whatever you need to do.
Let them know they're fucking wrong. Let them know they're fucking wrong. Fucking, criticize. They should be criticized for that because, a prepubescent child doesn't know if they're freaking gay or straight at that age at 9 years old, you know? At 9 years old, I didn't know if I was gay or straight. Did you?
Yeah, I was pretty sure that I was straight. I mean, 9 years old, I already had access to the internet.
I have some serious doubts that you knew you were straight, buddy.
At 13, I still cool. At 13, I definitely did have the internet. And you know what? When I was 13 years old, my parents had no clue what the fucking internet was. So, yeah, I had access to it all. It's the pure, unfiltered internet, And did I know if I was gay or straight? I had no fucking clue. At even 13.
There was a particular leaning to the porn that I consumed when I was quite young. I mean, it was pretty much straight. I enjoyed looking at photographs and images and drawings.
Yeah,
women.
Female. But
yeah,
did
they were quite female.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that too, but I know whether or not I was attracted to men as well at that age. No, I didn't know.
So would you say that this is perhaps a debatable argument where there could be two viewpoints?
I'd say that prepubescent children shouldn't be exposed to the sexual desires of adults.
Well, that's absolutely true. But what about the particular age of consent? Do you think that there could be an argument over whether or not
the age of consent
is correct?
Oh, I've argued that for a while. Like the age of consent, it's arguable should be 16. Like many modern countries, like many countries in Europe, it's 16. Canada, it used to be 14 until a couple of years ago. So yeah, age of consent's debatable, but it's always been with people with ages who were sexually active. Pre-puberty, you're not sexually active. There's no, before you know how to make yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you cannot consent to sex.
So there's a particular article that I'm looking at here rather, that John Kelly wrote, and I'll link it in the sidebar. And he appears, as far as I can tell, to be specifically calling out Allison Rapp and the place she works and her job function included alongside his criticism. And I think that this implies heavily to me that he thinks that she should lose her job over what she said on Twitter.
No,
Definitely.
That seems a little bit extreme compared to some of your opinions, because you guys
No,
said that she should be the recipient of criticism for her opinions.
Yeah, criticism, but also...
Let's take this a couple of steps farther than that.
No,
All right,
hold
let's
on.
say...
I think, hold on. I read
hold up.
this. No, at the end, this is more about the hypocrisy of the whole thing. Like, you know all the changes they're making, like with the Xenoblade Chronicles costumes and whatnot, like all the content that's been cut, but yet she's saying all these things, but the content's still being cut. That's kind of hypocritical, don't you think?
So I do see that he makes an argument here that Miss Rapp is being hypocritical, but that argument does not seem to be particularly strong. So it says that, and I quote, Ms. Rapp's radical stances on free expression make the company she works for come across as hypocritical in light of recent censorship issues regarding Fire Emblem Fates. Now, I'm pretty sure that Allison Rapp has never translated a line of text or written anything.
No,
Mike,
but she's
she said on Twitter, no, hold on. She said on Twitter that she did do work on. Granted, she might have been full of crap, but still.
Well, what does work on it mean? I'm pretty sure that she's never translated a single line of text for Treehouse.
She's a PR rep. She's a PR public relations rep.
So how did her personal opinions on her personal Twitter account make her company look hypocritical?
Because she's the public figurehead of... She's the figurehead of Nintendo there. She's representing Nintendo and saying that child pornography, Japanese representations of underage sex
she's got
should
Nintendo
be...
in her bio. It says in her bio that she works there.
So basically, yeah, she's being hypocritical there because she's representing Nintendo and saying that, these things should be decriminalized, these things shouldn't be such a big issue, but then she's in here praising the localization of Fire Emblem's Fate.
Yeah, the one that had petting that you could take with a stylus and tap the head of one of the characters.
Yeah, the petting game.
Yeah.
That was taken out because of
genders.
Yeah, but I don't know. Continue on, I'm drunk.
Well, so the argument here is that she is vocal for pedophiles, right?
She's for the decriminalization of child pornography and for advocating for childhood sexual agency. And childhood sexual agency, they're talking about, prepubescent kids, like well below the age of consent, well below the age of, being able to consent to pornography.
She makes reference to the Japanese consent laws of age of 13.
The Japanese laws are indeed 13 for the age of consent.
Mm-hmm.
She works for a Japanese company.
But she's trying, and for Nintendo of America, they want it to be a family-friendly company, They want they want it to seem family friendly, and that's why the localization with a lot of Nintendo games will raise the age of characters who are like 14, 15 to 18.
And you think that
Or
this is good? It's a good thing that they're censoring their games and raising the age of the characters because that's
No,
not acceptable in the United States?
no.
it's fiction.
I don't
Okay.
think it is either. And I mean, as far as I can see, it looks like Allison Rapp doesn't think that it is.
Yeah, then why? But that's the company she works for. Why is she allowing them to be changed then?
Maybe she disagrees with them, but doesn't have
But
the power
she
to
hasn't
make a change
vocally
in that
disagreed with them. She's
Perhaps
actually
because
vocally
she's
agreed
a
with
public
them.
relations employee and does not actually work on the translations.
But
She
she's
said
actually
not to do it,
agreed
she
with
did
the.
know.
She's agreed with Fire Emblem's fate, even though it's been censored, localized. She's agreed with that. She's posted on Twitter things like, "Oh wow, I love Fire Emblem's fate so much," even though she disagrees with.
That's not the argument that John Kelly is making.
No,
The
but it's
argument
the
that John
hypocrisy.
Kelly is making-
It's hypocrisy
Well,
because
the argument that John Kelly is making
In the article, yeah.
is simply that she is defending pedophiles.
and
That's
she
it.
has.
It's a smear, it's a slander, and there's nothing else to it.
There's more to it than that, that's all. But
I don't think that there is any more to it, because I'm looking at this article, and it's only got 4 paragraphs in it, and some of them are a little bit of a stretch to call paragraphs. And, I mean, there's really not much to this Medium article to pick apart here. He's like, hey, look, this employee of Nintendo is talking about pedophilia, therefore, and then the question is left open. I'm just wondering what the purpose of this is. Basically, my argument is that John Kelly is the controlled opposition, and he is and has been for the entirety of his participation in this online scandal, has been focusing on articles, or rather, not articles, but has been focusing on points that are easily argued and easily disproven and easily dismantled, and continuing to make those same arguments forever and ever ad infinitum, so that it's more easy for the opposition to disarm you. And that appears to be what's happening. As far as I can tell, that is exactly what he's doing.
Hey, Thydron.
Oi, goobers.
What do you think about this, Thydron? Have you seen this article that John Kelly wrote about Allison Rapp on February 25th?
Yes, amongst others.
Now, it is my opinion that this article and some of the other things that Kelly has written are part of a controlled opposition campaign to make bad points that are easily ignored, debunked, or argued to dismantle the ability of you and others to discuss issues relating to Gamergate and the aftermath of Gamergate. What do you think about that?
I think that's actually kind of amusing. It reminds me of the people that argued against boycotting. Remember me, whenever I argued against it?
I do remember that.
But my angle was actually a little different than the rest as far as that went.
The only angle I'd argue against boycotting is that doing a quote-unquote Gamergate boycott, as in, we're not going to buy this game because these devs hate a Twitter hashtag. That's stupid.
Well, it doesn't matter the reason.
You can do it. I still think it's
I've
stupid.
seen dumber reasons for boycotting. But
Well, I
anyways,
mean, the boycott issue aside, how in any way does it benefit anybody to focus on the fact that a random PR employee who has never translated a line of code or a line of text
Why do you keep
ever
saying she never
in her
has?
career, she certainly didn't do any work on Fire Emblem.
you know how localization works?
But how does focusing on her and the things that she has said on Twitter benefit your goals in any way whatsoever?
Chiseling away at the
compared to
enemy.
simply criticizing the quality of the game.
I want to point out something very obvious. Do you know how localization works?
I do know how localization works. In fact,
Say it in
I've
your own words,
translated many
please.
things personally.
Because I want to make certain we're on the same page before I try to bring out my argument, all right?
Sure. Let's do some groundwork so that you can pin me if I try to dodge your question.
Okay. What is localization in your words? That's what I want to make certain of before I start it.
Localization is translation. Localization is when you make small changes to the text in order to allow the content to be understood and the meaning of the original work to be conveyed to an audience that does not have the same tools to use, the same words and the same expressions, the same metaphors, to properly convey that with a direct literal translation.
All right. So localization to you is a translation to convey the spirit of the meaning of the product to the resulting consumer as best as possible.
Give
Yes?
or take. That's pretty close.
All right. As you may have noticed, the Nintendo Treehouse outfit doesn't operate on that.
Because they're incompetent.
Agreed.
Actually look at the text that they've translated and see the obvious errors that they have made. They have not taken artistic liberty and rewritten segments. They have actually mistranslated things and drawn conclusions based on their lack of understanding of the original language.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
I mean, not only did they cut swaths of the game content out, what is there is mangled.
So it is not that they have made a conscious decision to change the story in many, if not all. I think maybe not all, maybe some of the decisions that they made are actually proper localization decisions. But, I mean, look at the guy. What was that one where the guy had some sort of catchphrase that he kept saying over and over and over because
Which
they
one?
misunderstood one of the things
Don't
that he was saying.
forget the guy's obsession with pickles.
Pickles, that's it. Yeah, there was an issue where they were talking about pickles and how he really likes pickles. Like,
When
in one
reality was
particular...
like pickled ingredients, not simply pickles.
Well, yeah, pickles in Japan are a little bit different from what you would consider pickles to be in the United States. But
It depends on the United States. I'm very familiar with pickled products.
I mean, like, it's... But that doesn't really matter. But the focus on it and the way
resulting
that the
glamorization of that
mistranslation
character
has carried over into replacing the entire character, it's just obvious that they don't know how to do their jobs properly.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with whether or not one of their employees is a pedophile on Twitter. The quality of the translation is lacking. It's piss poor. It's bad. And the game, as a result, is bad. And pretty much all of the games, I think, that would be translated from this point on, or localized, or whatever you want to call it, by Treehouse, are going to suck dick.
Yeah.
I agree. I made
And I actually agree with that too.
I've made 3 videos about that. None of them about how Allison raps a pedo.
Of course. I mean,
As
probably
far as
because...
Allison Rapp, my angle on Allison Rapp is, why is she saying this retarded shit while attempting to front for a family-friendly company in public?
And the thing is, she's the quality of hire they have for that company. That's the people they look at to hire
You know why?
for that company.
Do you know why? I'm dropping a truth bomb on you right now. You want to know
Because
why
they're
Allison Rapp said
SJWs.
those things?
Bait, right?
Because she's a PR agent and it is bait. And of course, John Kelly fucking loves that bait, and he just has to eat it up like shit on a plate.
Okay, then explain how said comments would ever be a good thing in the process of her accomplishing her job.
Why would they need to be... So, there's 2 possibilities here. Number 1 is, she made those comments as bait to detract from legitimate criticism of Treehouse, which I think is plausible.
Hold up. There's bait.
These comments... No, let me pause you right there.
The other one is that she actually just legitimately believes these things.
1 second. She said a lot of this stuff before she ever got a job at Nintendo in the first place.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, then we can assume that she believes these things. But
Yeah.
then that calls into question the earlier question that you had of why is she making these statements during this time at all?
I
Maybe
didn't
she just
say
makes
that.
these statements all the time.
I said, why is she making these statements as a PR representative of Nintendo? Why does she not separate her accounts?
And
Maybe
there's
she's
a
just as
difference
incompetent
between
at her job as the rest of Treehouse.
Thank you.
there's a difference between bad PR and good PR. Like Marilyn Manson, he did bad PR, and he attracted the people he was looking for. Nintendo's trying to do good PR. Nintendo's not trying to do black PR, where they're like, oh, one of our artists is sucking a black man's dick on stage. You know, that's
No.
Marilyn Manson PR.
No, you want an old school example of black PR? Look at this guy that bit the head off of a bat and threw it out on stage.
Exactly, Ozzy
There you
Osbourne. That was in the '80s, wasn't it? I forget.
Now
But
that I've
yeah,
had a moment to think, I can answer that question more accurately. I think that it benefits Treehouse to have Allison Rapp as a controversial figure during this
not
time
as a
because of
family,
Gamergate and because
not as
of
a
the
family
media.
friendly.
Shut up.
No. It
Because
benefits. No,
and because of the media response to women being harassed by misogynist male gamers. I think
Now,
that this
keep
makes
in
her a
mind-
convenient shield.
Now keep in mind, he is specifying Nintendo Treehouse as opposed to Nintendo of America or Nintendo in general.
That's correct, because Nintendo Treehouse operates largely autonomously.
They are just having the Nintendo name because Nintendo doesn't really vet properly.
Well, they're a subcontractor, and
Yeah.
Nintendo doesn't vet properly. Not for the U.S., they never have. Neither did Sega.
Exactly. Anyways, so you would agree, and I would agree, that she's an incompetent PR agent, yes?
Well, yes, well,
Well, keep in mind, those same comments that she said all those stupid things on is, again, the same account that she's putting up her Nintendo stuff on.
so on the one hand, if
And
she was
posted
working
semi-nude
directly for
pictures.
Nintendo, say, then it would be pretty obviously incompetent, right?
Yep.
Because it would look really bad on Nintendo.
Well, here's that. Let me
But
pause.
because
And she
she's
also
working
posted
for a
about cuckolding her
subcontractor.
husband.
I gotta pause you right there. She actually has videos where she's representing Nintendo and she was trying to shill for products with a kid acting.
Well, I mean, as a subcontractor who's working for Nintendo Treehouse and completely surrounded by an incompetent team, incapable of doing their jobs, who have a social justice bent, then I think that maybe her opinions and her public stances on social media could have very well positively contributed to her career advancement in that group.
Yep.
So it would be tough to say decisively that that's incompetence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just referring to this particular video here.
Which one?
The one I just linked in chat. It's a short one.
Okay, so we've got Allison standing here next to a kid and making a video.
Yep. Note, though, that it does not differentiate between Nintendo Treehouse. It says, Ali Rapp, Nintendo of America, Incorporated.
So, is it in any way dangerous to this child to be around Allison Rapp?
As far as I know, no.
What is the problem with this video exactly?
She wants to have sex with the kid and make a video of it.
Oh, but nobody's ever said that she's a pedophile.
No.
So how could she want to have sex with the kid? That's a leap of logic.
She's okay with the video of that kid having sex.
Is she okay with it? Where did she say she was okay with it?
What I
With
know,
the whole.
I think that what I would like to see before calling people pedophiles is an argument that actually states facts supporting that
This
conclusion.
her thesis, her college thesis.
Her college thesis, what?
It is a fact that she is, at least in her own words, on government watch lists because of her
Advocation of the relaxation of age of consent laws.
At least in her words, she could be full of crap. But
And
I also
and child
believe that the
pornography
age of
laws.
consent laws should be relaxed.
Yeah, I believe that too. But what about child pornography laws? Do you think?
I think that the child pornography laws should be relaxed as well, and I can describe
Really?
to you exactly why I think so.
okay, go for it.
We have a severe problem, especially in image boards and in any place that has user-generated content, where malicious users will upload pedophile stuff, child pornography, to the website, and then report the owner of the website to either their ISP or the authorities,
That's
or
not
both.
the argument, though.
It's an argument.
That's
True.
not relaxed. Well, I guess you could argue relaxed. But
Well, yeah, the issue, in my opinion, is that we have laws that specifically call out possession and distribution of this content, and I don't think that in the digital age, with things like websites being operated by the majority of the population, I don't think that that law applies anymore. I don't think that it makes sense in 2016. I think that we should probably take a look at
Just
these
used
things
a current
and
year
update
argument.
them to be more valid for today.
It's the current year, Thydrin. Come on.
Well, things in 2016 are a lot different than they were in 1950, when having child pornography was a big deal.
It still
No,
is
it
a
wasn't.
big
It wasn't
deal.
a big deal until like the 80s.
Well, what if child pornography is on your Chan website?
and remove it.
Yeah, you should remove it. But what if there's an archiver backing up the Chan website to archive threads?
Well, you
Now,
and
does
the
this person also need to run a moderation
No,
staff?
then the
Yes.
archiver can remove
They
it.
Yes,
need to
the archive-
They need to run a moderation staff to actively police their content?
That's the
There
way
already
the
has
4chan archives and 8chan archives have been run. There's a moderator on those.
It's a matter of if you
They're not held
download
liable for the content that's stored on their
Yeah,
website.
They're not going to
Yeah,
get arrested
you
for
prob-
having child pornography.
I don't know about that. They quite very well could be, and some of them have been.
No. This is how it works. If you don't promptly inform the FBI of its existence, take it down, and then upload the information to the FBI.
Yeah, if you don't do it in a
contact or whatever.
timely manner, it's like, I think you got like 24
I
or
don't
72
think you
hours.
guys understand the problem. If I want to run a Chan archiving website and I don't have the manpower to actively scour all that data,
Then
and I
you should
happen-
shut it down.
and I should shut it down?
No.
If you don't have the manpower to moderate it,
What
yeah.
about BitTorrent? Do people need to fucking scour their BitTorrent shit to make sure that there's no CP in any of that stuff uploaded?
They do.
So we actually have to have people actively censoring the internet?
For child porn,
There already
yeah.
are people doing that.
You guys, man, I can't fucking believe what you're saying right now.
I
You
think
know
you're
how
really
much
making
fucking data is uploaded to these websites?
I'm
Yes.
well aware of them.
You know
And
how
in
many
order
people...
to have that much data, you must police all the content?
That's
What
not
about-
even how
What
it
about
works.
the person
Satan.
who uploaded it in the first place?
Yeah,
Yeah, they
you
just
know
the
what?
person who
I've
did it.
seen.
That's the person who broke the law. That's the person who tried to get somebody innocent arrested
Yeah,
for
and they
possession
should
of
get
child
trouble.
pornography. And
But
you're
the
placing the
host,
By
onus.
the way,
You are
in your
placing the
accusation,
onus
I'm
of
gonna pause it on
policing
this one
that
on you.
on the
One at a
victim.
time.
I want to pause you right there. You just acted in the same way that John Kelly done in your accusation of John Kelly. You want a better defensible argument? It's really
Sure, go
simple.
for it.
You know how fucking easy it is to plant CP on someone and then get the government officials on them?
Incredibly easy.
Exactly. That would be a better argument to point out
That's
against
the argument that I'm
alcohol.
making.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, you're talking about a platform, which, by the way, is a lot harder to prosecute.
Yeah, you do realize there's this little thing called the safe harbor provision where
I'm talking about people sneakily uploading to people's personal computers and then setting them up that way.
That's
Which
the
is still
same
dead.
exact thing as
It's not
illegally
the same
uploading
thing.
content to somebody's website on the
Excuse
internet.
me, can
That
you
is
people
not
hear
even
me? My
remotely the same
fucking
thing.
mic cut.
How is
Hey,
it not
pause,
remotely
pause,
the same thing?
pause.
One
Someone
at a
else is trying
time.
to talk.
Can
Okay,
you all hear me?
Hey,
Yes.
we're having an
No.
argument here. How
Hey,
is it?
Satan.
How is it not remotely the same thing?
Satan.
Oh,
Satan.
Jason has not talked in a while. Let him go, then you.
Look, Satan, what you're describing is why we have shit like safe harbor, what are commonly called safe harbor provision laws with regards to running websites where so long as you're informed and you promptly remove the fucking content, then you're not liable for it being posted there.
It's why 8chan hasn't been shut down already.
Yeah, but the archivers have.
Not really.
No.
They're
In
still
fact, one
running.
of those archivers has done jail time for running an archiver that backed up stuff to
Root
his
for get
local
off.
computer,
Internet. You
that
got
backed
proof.
up
Were they
stuff to his
able
local
to-
computer once that he
That-
had on his local computer, and then was searched by the feds for a completely different offense and got jailed on child pornography possession.
Who?
Yeah.
This
And
is fairly common.
you want the difference?
What's the difference?
The difference was, instead of the platform, it was on their personal computer.
There's no difference between your personal computer and a server on the internet as far as the law is concerned.
You want
Zero
to
difference.
bet? See the safe harbor provisions versus personal computer.
But this person on his personal computer was running a service. Why
Yeah?
wasn't he protected from the safe harbor provisions?
Did he cite safe harbor provisions?
I don't know. One would
Well,
assume.
let me put it this way, Satan. A lot of people get busted because they don't have good lawyers that understand how to argue these laws.
Because keep in mind, there's no shortage of idiots in the world.
And that means that the laws are perfect, right? We shouldn't be arguing about
No.
these issues at all.
You should be arguing about these issues. I'm just
I-
What's
pointing out
wrong with
the
Allison
difference.
Rapp arguing about these issues on Twitter? It's
Because
that
she's
she
doing
has
so as a
job at Nintendo?
representative. Because she's doing so as a representative of Nintendo. That's
So
why.
working for Nintendo now makes it completely unacceptable for
Hey,
Allison
yes.
Rapp to talk
Hey,
about social
Satan,
issues.
Yes.
Satan.
Depends on the social issues.
Satan.
She's
Hold
talking
on.
about child pornography as a
So you wanted to
representative.
self-censor,
Can you
Sidron?
people hear me?
She can say whatever she pleases.
Hold up, pause. Who's trying to talk? Pause.
Hello?
Pause. Sidron.
No,
Hello?
let
Hello?
Sergeant speak.
Hello?
Let Sergeant go. Then you can go.
Okay. I'll mute.
Go
Can
ahead.
everyone actually hear me?
Yes, we've been able to hear you. Just everyone.
Why don't you just fucking talk now that you've got the floor? This is why we keep
Okay,
talking
I'm trying to
over you.
make sure
No.
because this mic kept cutting out for whatever
And you're still
reason.
doing it. Fucking state your point and move on so we can get back to actually talking about shit, you fucking spurg.
Jesus Christ, then. Take the floor because you've made me forget
Just go.
my point. Okay,
Go,
fine.
go, go.
Here's the point. Allison Rapp's Twitter is officially affiliated with her work with Nintendo. If we were talking a personal account that has no connection whatsoever to that, we wouldn't be here.
At what point does the connection cross the
When
threshold?
you put it into your bio of works for Nintendo America and blah-de-blah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, she's doing so. She's making these points as a representative of Nintendo of America, a family-friendly company that censors game content from Japan to localize it.
One other
So
thing.
in what way, then, is this person your enemy in this situation when she has opinions that state that, you know, everything in Japan is fine?
When she
How does it
agrees with
behoove
the
you?
when she agrees with the localization company that she works for.
Wait, what?
As to why she is my opposition?
Mm-hmm.
Depends on which meaning you mean. As far as the localized concern is, well, I don't like people that end up relaxing age of consent laws and attempts
I think that the age of
to-
consent laws should be relaxed, though, shouldn't
Yeah, I've had this debate with John Kelly. Like after John Kelly
This is a good
published
one to
that
have.
article,
Instead
There
of
is a
talking
good one
about
to
how
have.
you've had this debate in the past, why don't you
And
talk
the-
about your opinions?
and the points I agree with John Kelly on is where she is doing so as a representative of Nintendo. This is a debate that should be had, but should a representative of Nintendo be having this debate? I don't think so.
Well, no, she could go to 8chan or wherever, some anonymous image board maybe.
No,
Or
she
she
doesn't
could
have to
go-
do so anonymously,
Yeah, she could do it.
but she
She
could
could,
do it.
To get
She
a
should-
dummy Twitter account, yeah.
She should no. She could even use her real name. She just should not use her PR Twitter
It
account
would still be
for
linked to
having
her,
this debate.
It'd still be linked to her real name, though.
Yeah, but she wouldn't
It
be
weakens
doing
the
it.
argument. The further degrees of separation, the weaker the argument becomes.
And this is already quite separated from anything you guys actually have legitimate problems with in the game industry. And my argument here is that this, and focusing on Allison Rapp's supposedly pedophile tweets, is so far removed from anything Gamergate gives a shit about that it looks clear to me, especially with his fucking history on these subjects, that John Kelly is the controlled opposition making easily defeated points to discredit you.
This isn't
Not
easily defeated.
It isn't.
I think it is pretty easily
Yeah,
defeated
no,
or
the only-
ignored. Nintendo doesn't even have to respond to you guys. Treehouse doesn't even have to respond to you guys. In fact, when Treehouse is talking to Nintendo about this problem, they can easily point to Gamergate, point to the people who have been posting in it, and then point to John Kelly and say, look, these Gamergaters are assaulting women. Therefore, you can't do anything to us. My problem is not with necessarily the target or the reason, although I find both the target and the reason specious? I don't know how to pronounce that word.
Okay,
But
now, Satan, let me ask you this. What if
I just find it ineffective.
Well, let me ask you this. What if certain groups, like parents groups, discovered these things that Allison Rapp is saying? Like, do you really...
I got a better question for you, Satan. What makes you
let me
think
answer
that
this
I
one, 'cause that was a good
represent
one.
Gamergate in response to this?
What
What
was that
makes you
about
think
parents
that
parents groups?
Gamergate
What was that?
gave a shit about me, or I give a shit about Gamergate in general? I'm in this for me. That's it.
What if parents groups? What was that? Could you finish that sentence?
Let's say that some parents groups, like, I don't know, 1 million moms or whatever, they found on these tweets that Allison Rapp is saying, and maybe someone sent them to them, said, hey, this is the person who does Nintendo's, this is Nintendo's PR person. Like,
Yep.
what
They would
do you
say,
think
this
they'd
is
do?
Nintendo's PR person. That's exactly what they would say. And then they would go after Nintendo for having a PR person that said things that they find offensive. In what way does this help you improve the quality of Nintendo translations?
By burning out shitty companies in any angle possible.
It's not going to trace back to Treehouse in any way, and the parents groups would not be in any way aware of the translation issues with Fire Emblem Fates.
It's due to economic bankruptcy over time and making certain
You're gonna
bits
go after
unprofitable.
one
These are
employee
the
at a
people
time
they
instead of
hire.
actually stating the problems that you have with the quality of the game?
Hey, it's their choice. They can either start to fix it, or I can just burn them all. I don't care at this point. I've already stated my reasons. They can choose to ignore it, and I can choose to turn the heat up. Their choice.
I see all this effort spent on fucking Allison Rapp. Why? Why not spend this effort on the actual content of the game, which sucked?
Because the people who are
Maybe
doing...
because the
Because
people
the
that
people
are
who are
doing
talking
that
about this
particular
don't give a
bit.
shit about
No,
the
no.
game or any of
No,
the
hold on.
translation.
Oh, you are completely mistaken.
Am I? Does John
Yeah.
Kelly
Hold
play Fire
on.
Emblem games?
Am I John Kelly? Is Sergeant John
Am
Kelly?
I John Kelly?
I don't know. Are you guys making the statement that Allison Rapp is a pedophile, therefore should be
No.
fired from Nintendo?
She's
No,
a
I don't
pedophile
say that she's a
defender.
pedophile, but I do say she should be fired.
I agree.
Yeah.
For the aforementioned statement of
What
general
then?
incompetence.
What then?
Then I would go
let's say you
after
win
Nick's
this fight. What
dumbass.
then?
I would say Nick's dumbass, the one that ended up paying the Patreon to that one that was encouraging censorship of Fire Emblem Fates.
How many times do you think this is going to work? Do you think that you'll be able to get Allison Rapp fired?
Potentially, although it's going to
Do
be
you
a
think you
long
would be able to
annoying
get the
process.
next Allison Rapp and the one after that and the one after that fired? How many people do you think at Nintendo Treehouse share these opinions?
I think most of them would.
So, how many people do you think work for Nintendo Treehouse?
Probably not that many, because, again, they're subcontracted to Nintendo.
I don't know about that. It takes quite a lot of people to do a translation job. Even fan translations will have a minimum
Yeah,
of
and
4
they
people.
contract people out. They
No.
contract people out.
That's
Have
what
you
I
ever-
disagree with. The bare minimum of fan translations are 1, although it's usually...
That's an awful lot of work.
I know. I'm telling you, the bare minimum, as someone who's been keeping track of those fan translation efforts for decades, is 1. But it's usually in the realm of 2 to 4. Depending on the complexity of the game, the amount of translations needed, the difficulty in working the game engine, and so on.
Let's see if we can find any information about just how many people work for Nintendo Treehouse. I mean, considering they have their own PR agents, I'm assuming it's going to be quite a lot.
I would be surprised if it is over 10.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I would be surprised if it was over 10.
So what do you think your odds are of successfully getting Allison Rapp fired?
Decent. Mostly
they're pretty good?
because...
What do you think, 80%? 60%?
I'd say 50.
50-50. What do you think your chances are of doing this successfully on all 10 of those people?
I don't need to do it on all 10 of those people.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
let them know they'll be hurt.
So how does removing their PR hamstring the organization?
Because it costs them time and effort to replace them. You know this as well
To
as I.
replace a PR person.
Yep, even a shitty PR person. Let alone the ones that have already resigned.
I'm pretty sure they could just go call up one of their friends and have another one in place, like, right away.
Yep. They could
And
try
that's
and get them
exactly what they
replaced.
would do.
And that person will be utter shit as well.
Yes. And then you will have caused exactly 0 impact.
Except
When
that I
you
already
could
have
been doing
caused
something
impact.
else.
Except that I already have caused impact, because that one is now shunted to another more shabby place.
I'm just gonna lay it on you here. This is what other people see when they see you talking about Allison Rapp. They see Gamergate attacking another industry woman who doesn't even work on video games.
Why do I care?
Because you have a goal in mind that you want to achieve.
Yes, I do.
This doesn't really hinder it at all, honestly.
It doesn't hinder my goal, though.
Yeah.
That's what you don't get.
Yeah, the Patrick Klepek's article, that doesn't really stop me.
My goal is ridding the freaking political atmosphere from video games.
That's an impossible goal, admittedly. But it'll
Well,
still be fun to try.
ridding an ideology from inhabiting video games. You know, I don't care if a video game's overly SJW, Marxist, or whatnot. I just don't want all my video games like that. I don't want to see Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball get a 1.5 on Metacritic for
Right.
having too much boobs.
Brad, I'm
You know?
going to send you a video over DMs. You might like it.
All right.
Well, what
But,
I see
yeah.
when I look at this shit is a bunch of people taking up the collective time of their audience with bullshit. Now, the people who read this stuff, the people who read about the Allison Rapps of the world, have a limited amount of time at their disposal to understand your arguments. And when you take up that time by talking about shit that doesn't matter, or
To
shit
you.
that's not directly helping your goals, you're undermining yourselves.
Except you're assuming that our goals are in line with yours.
No, I'm going based on what you have told me your goals are. Oh, where's Beardmo? Is he?
Which is
Yeah, invite Beardmo in here if you can get him in.
Now,
In your words, what are my
I can
goals
keep
then?
in here.
If
I
you
can
seem
contribute
to
the
understand them
discussion.
or
wanna
claim
get
to
it
understand them.
What?
If you claim to understand them, please state what you believe my goals are.
I think your goals are to try one by one to remove the people that you disagree with from the games industry.
Disagree. This is merely one angle of many of attack.
What other angles are you taking?
For example, I'm currently recruiting for the Fire Emblem Fates fan translation efforts. If anyone else would like to join
Are
in
you helping
on
with the translation
editing,
effort?
yeah, I'm part of that particular team.
What are you
Same
doing?
here.
What kind of work are you doing?
Editing. I'm basically trying to insert the necessary code and support conversations. It's going a bit slow, but you know, I'm getting through it piece by piece.
And
Cool.
I'm here as friggin' proofreading of this shit so that it actually sounds like English.
Yeah.
Why do you sound like a fake Joker? I don't understand.
You want whatever.
Huh?
That's an example of something that I think would positively benefit the industry.
Of course. And it would also provide a fun little bit of competition to those hacks at the same time.
Yeah, can you imagine if the fan translation did better than the official version? You know how
I
amazing
can't-
It
that would be?
already has,
No,
right?
it already has. Here's the thing. What you fail to realize is this situation's already happened. It's what caused the Atlas to finally grow the fuck up.
I don't think any changes have happened in Atlas.
Okay, compare Persona 1 and Persona 2 in comparison to 3, 4, and so on.
There's
And
too
the
much of a
PS
time
and the
gap there to
PSP
make an
versions.
effective comparison. The same people didn't work on them.
Okay,
I
I'll
was
get
referring
you.
as
I'll
a
get you a
company.
better example.
I don't think the
Yes.
company thing works for video games. Like, if you look at the
I'll
companies,
get you a better list. Give me a sec.
if you
You
look at the
haven't seen
companies
people
that
working
have
for
changed,
decades at games, have you?
what?
Oh,
Sometimes at the same company.
Thijin, you ever
Anyway,
play
what I
the?
was saying was, I think that in gaming specifically, the company doesn't really matter. It's the people who worked on the games. And you can see this clearly when there's any exodus at a company. Like when they
Here's
lose
the thing. The
serious talent.
companies still do matter because they're there to make money and own specific IPs or buying their
They
licenses.
can no longer
to create
produce a game that you will enjoy if the people who make games you enjoy leave the company.
Exactly, and by the same token, if
But you
people
can't force
continue
them
to
to.
create garbage and people respond and force competition, what do you think they're going to do?
Well, you can't force these companies to
You
improve.
sure as hell can, and
No,
if you
you
think
can't because they
otherwise,
literally
you're a
don't
damn
have the
fool.
people that can do
Here's-
the work anymore.
Here's the thing. You know how you can force them?
How?
You force them by showing you can do their job better than them. Simple
That's
as
a
that.
good way of doing it, but those companies aren't actually going to improve. They'll just get
Die.
put under from
They
the
won't
competition.
die. That's why.
But what I see from Kelly specifically is not him helping on translation projects and shit. All I see is him talking shit about people on the internet that, I mean, aren't really relevant.
Maybe they're relevant to him. They aren't relevant to you, clearly.
They're not relevant to me.
Well,
Can I
then,
say?
why do you care so much about what he says?
But because his opinions and or rather, not his opinions, his actual arguments are either fallacious or poorly made.
I read his argument. From what I got from his piece, not the Stormfront one, not the Daily Mail one, or the others, from John Kelly's article that he wrote, it seemed to me more like he's focusing most on the hypocrisy aspect. So maybe, it'd be great if they weren't hypocritical about this. Like they weren't censoring the games anymore.
I don't think he really made the argument conclusively, though. He just takes it as a given at the outset.
Okay,
You know what
so
I mean?
you don't think his article was as good as it could have been.
That's true.
So then why do you keep saying that why do you keep asserting that he is saying that Allison Rapp's a pedophile? Because
Because he
his
actually
article-
does that in discussions on Twitter.
Really? So, can I see a tweet?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're tagged in it if I scroll down a little bit.
Allison Rapp is a pedophile defender. She's not a pedophile, but she'll defend pedophiles who've been caught with things
Yeah,
like child
that she
pornography and
has
stuff
done.
like that.
She has
That
defended
actually
his-
has happened.
Yes, and I can find you proof of that too. If you
Already
give me-
So
have
here's a
found
tweet from a few hours ago in which John Kelly said, in response
You
to
like
me, saying, Allison Rapp isn't a pedo just because you can't think straight. He replies, you're right. She just advocates policies that would help them.
Yeah, that she has done that.
that is
So-
actually correct.
That is correct. Now, if somebody makes a policy that would help a pedophile, yet that would also have other positive benefits, does that then mean that policy is invalid? That person is now bad? Because that
In the
seems
position she
I'll tell
does
you
it
what.
in.
When did John say that was bad, though?
well, that's the implication made
It
right here.
depends on the
That's your
competing
interpretation.
ideologies.
That's your interpretation of the implication.
That is my interpretation. And
Yeah.
that is what I believe that he said and meant by that tweet. And I know he's listening, so I mean, if he actually disagrees, he's free to come in here and debate it.
John, you want on?
Welcome back.
What's up? What I miss?
I
Not
think
much.
he was making his argument.
Oh, for child pornography or what?
I'm not sure exactly. I think he was bitching about John pointing out her advocacy for the relaxation of child pornography laws.
I mean, yeah, it's a discussion that should be had along with the age of consent laws. Where I disagree with it is she's doing so as a representative of Nintendo of America. She's doing so. Imagine a representative of fucking Nickelodeon saying, we need to relax child pornography laws.
Yeah, that I could actually see them do. Given, haven't you watched the Nick News crap they show? Yeah, they dig into that to Nickelodeon and Viacom sometime. You'll, yeah.
So what
Yeah,
if Nintendo
yeah.
just came straight out and said that American laws and American sensibilities don't make any sense? The fucking age of consent should be 13, like it is in Japan, and all of
By
you
the
fucking
way, your
gaijins
position-
are idiots. What do you
That
think would
goes-
happen?
Why
That
do you
goes
think
against
that-
feminism, you know? We're deeply embedded
God
in
damn it.
feminism. Well,
I don't think that anything would happen. I don't think that there would be any major backlash.
There'd be some backlash. Do I think that there would be major super duper backlash? No.
Nah. They're still going to buy
Which,
the
by the way, is
Next-
still a straw man of the actual position because she said significantly more than the age of consent laws. And you know this, I know this.
I actually have taken a look at most of the things that she said on Twitter, and a lot of
I
it,
also read the paper.
I didn't read the paper.
I really recommend you read the paper. She did more than advocate for lowered age of consent. That's why
Look,
I'm bringing out the
look.
child pornography laws.
old enough to bleed, old enough to breed. That's what I've been saying since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Just end my life, fam.
I don't
And
think
if
that
you
can
want some
just
autism,
state
by the
out
way-
of hand, though, that those arguments are bad, therefore she is bad. I'm pretty sure that's what John
I'm
Kelly
not
is doing.
saying that, but what
I
I'm
know that
saying
you're
is
not saying it.
her and me are at a bit of a crossroads as far as that particular bit's concerned. Me and her would end up being at loggerheads due to her advocacy.
You couldn't find some common ground?
With regards to her, not especially, no.
Now, I got a buddy who, when he was 18, had sex with a 17-year-old and was prosecuted for statutory rape. And
Yep.
she had a child from it, and now he is trapped in this relationship where he must pay her for the rest of her life, and is on the sex offender registry, and cannot live within, 20 miles of a school, which totally destroys his ability to get housing near where he works. So he's been fighting with this problem for the past 20 years.
Is a member of the sex offender registry as well, because she and another guy had flashed each other in a public place and they got caught by the cops.
That sounds pretty horrible to me. You know how bad
Yeah,
the
the-
sex offender registry is?
Yes, I'm well aware of it.
Anything can land you on the sex offender register. You fucking, if you're 13 and you kick a 12-year-old in the nuts, you're on the sex offender for life.
And you know what John Kelly would hear? When he overhears this segment of the conversation, he will hear, oh, Allison Rapp is on the sex offenders registry. I can use that in my
He already
crusade.
read the he already read the tweet where she joked about how she's on some FBI watch list.
Well, she likely is, to be perfectly blunt.
She joked about it. She thinks it's some great thing because, she's helping in progressivism and all that
I
crap.
joke about the Jews getting gassed every day. That doesn't mean that I think it was
Use
a
your
great
real
thing.
name on Twitter, though.
Are you using your real name, and are you representing a company while doing so?
Just because she says that she works for Nintendo Treehouse in her Twitter profile does not necessarily mean that she's representing the company.
She is.
She is, whether she can say otherwise or not. It does not mean that she
Fine,
is
let's
making them legally
assume
liable
for the
or
sake
not.
of argument for a moment that Allison Rapp is representing the company and that Nintendo thinks that it's funny to be on the sex offender registry.
Says she is representing the company. Go look at. She's tweeted stuff that's about all the. What was it? About all the games.
Now, how is this relevant to Gamergate?
It's.
Why? When did you see me using Gamergate to involve into this?
Yeah, we
That's the
changed
thing.
the hashtag to torrential downpour. Didn't
Well, I'm not really here to argue with you guys.
That is
there's
probably
a reason that we're not arguing on Twitter. You guys have somewhat reasonable stances.
I mean, admittedly, I ended up supporting torrential downpour more initially, except whenever people decide to be, how to say it, policing the hashtag. That's
So John Kelly's telling me that he's not going to come onto this stream because Google Hangouts is my preferred platform, and I don't want to use TeamSpeak because it's a shitty program. Isn't it like a closed source sack of shit that you have to pay for?
No, you don't. It's free.
You have to pay to run a server, though,
I
right?
can record that too if you want it live streamed. Well, it won't be live, but we got some there we can broadcast.
Well, you could
live.
technically set up a live stream.
Yeah.
So you're going to set up a live stream and dual
We got someone
join
there.
his
Yeah.
TeamSpeak?
Ramy is still watching.
We'll do that for you, John Kelly. We'll do this. We'll set up a bridge just for you because you're so butthurt that I don't want to install your preferred platform.
No, it doesn't work like that. You'd still have to install, but yes, we could do a live stream. We could do
Before
that.
you have TeamSpeak installed, we can probably just pipe the audio.
I could try that. Let me see. Ooh, wait, yeah. I actually think I could try that. Give me a sec.
Does Google Hangouts?
So it looks like we're going to do this because
I might
John
be able
Kelly's
to,
pretending because he's so butthurt that he can't join a Google Hangout.
All right, let me see. Give me a.
Well, it's an unsecure piece of shit.
So here's a topic I always like to bring up is what do y'all think about the Holocaust? You know,
I think it's a lie.
everyone knows the Holocaust was fake. So
The Bolsheviks.
yeah,
There was
It
an
was
element
fake.
of truth in the Holocaust.
What was the
I was just
element of
referring
truth?
to the
Some
Bolsheviks.
people did in fact die, and maybe
Yeah, people
no,
did die.
Not some. A lot of people died.
Okay, a
Yeah,
lot of
but
people, but not necessarily
none of them were
as many
gassed.
as you've been told.
No.
None
a
of them
lot
were
more
gassed.
than what's been told have died. But the thing
Yeah,
is,
in Russia, yeah.
what makes it interesting is who was doing the killing of whom.
It
The
was
Russians.
John Kelly.
John Kelly caused the Holocaust. You heard it here, folks.
John Kelly Rose.
And thus, whenever people end up bitching and moaning to me about the 6 million, I end up pointing them to the 60 million that the Bolsheviks ended up murdering through the period of the First World War up to the Second World War. So,
John Kelly is not sure why every argument needs to be streamed.
Well, not every argument needs to be streamed. I've already had this debate multiple times. It's kind of annoying to have to deal the same argument over and over again. Either
I'm
you agree
pretty
with
sure
me
that
or
you
not.
are a controlled opposition for Gamergate, and that your only job here is to make bad arguments and easily deflected arguments and attacks to discredit the movement.
Damn, I've been found out. I'll have to cash in my check from Gawker. Anyway, since you're so salty I wouldn't come on, I figured, you know what? I'll throw my old pal Satan a bone here.
John Kelly's a paid shill.
All right, Satan.
He gets
so
paid for this.
your
So
argument
what's
is
your
that
problem with Allison Rapp? Let's start at the beginning.
She's
already
too
been
sexy for him.
explained.
That's what.
It's already been explained in the article. I don't have to explain it again. It's
So
not
your
really
problem
something
with
I have to
Allison
go.
Rapp
Your
is,
article
and
is
let me quote from the article, is that she is vocal for pedophiles.
That's a pretty big problem, isn't it?
True.
I don't know. You seem to say that she is vocal for pedophiles and therefore a persona non grata because she has said things such as the age of
Did I ever-
consent in
hold on.
Japan is 13, and this is better than the United
Hold
States.
on.
We can dismiss that because it's a straw man.
Straw man.
Oh,
Yeah.
then why is it bad for Allison Rapp to be vocal for pedophiles on Twitter?
Because she's a PR agent.
PR agent.
It's that simple, really. If you're representing the company, you shouldn't be,
And who are you to make that decision? What if Nintendo agrees with her politics?
Well, here's the thing. I can't make that decision. Only Nintendo can. But I can
Nintendo
report on what
can.
she's doing and inform Nintendo about what's going on. And
So
it's
let's
Nintendo's
start with
Nintendo.
this one that you quoted.
Okay,
The
my
age
question
of
to you.
consent,
No, hold on. You
the
already
age of
asked me a
consent in
question.
the
I have a-
United States is 18, and in Japan it's 13, and they've had a long history of sexualizing adolescents.
That was
Why
one
do
of
you
many,
disagree with
many
that?
statements. There was one of many statements. If you're going to
That's
single
of
one
many
out, that's kind of
statements that you quoted, and I intend to
kind
go
of
through all of them and
ad
ask you what your
hominem
problem with
you're
them
there,
is.
but you're not letting me talk. So let me
That's
continue.
what you do
My-
when we get in
My
arguments.
Hey,
question
let
is,
John Kelly talk.
And when I get in arguments with you on Twitter, you tend to just say, "Hey, Satan, you smoke too
Hey,
much
Satan,
weed, so
let
I'm
John
not going
Kelly
to talk to you."
talk. Let John.
Okay, everyone besides John and Satan who tries to
Okay.
talk from now is going to
there's a couple of questions I have for Satan. The first question is, why are you singling me out?
Because you're the biggest offender. The number
Um,
one biggest offender. The number one person who makes a shit argument and then sticks
This is the
to
first
it
time you've
like
made
a
this
drowning
clarification.
man on a piece of driftwood.
Okay, so you think that I'm the biggest one. Do you know how
Biggest
many people
one. The
follow me on
number-
Twitter?
Well, you know what? Gaming and Pandas is
Hold
a
on.
little bit bad too.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
he's
do think
agreed
you're
with me
number
on this.
one.
He's agreed with me on this. He has 10,000. He has like 11,000 followers, and he agrees with me. Normally, me and him disagree on almost everything. But
Yeah,
this
it's-
issue, we're
it's
like,
pretty
yeah, she
obvious.
should be working for Nintendo. Also,
I
do you know
mean,
who else has made this
both-
argument?
If
Do you
you're
know who
both
else has made this
controlled
argument?
opposition shills, it
Hold
would
on,
make
I'm not
sense
done.
that you would
Okay,
agree.
fine. Okay, that could be plausible because you don't know who's a shill and who's not a shill.
That's
But do you know
correct.
who else has made? Do you know who else has made this argument?
I'm sure a
Event-
great number of people have made them. How about you?
Event
tell me?
status. Event status has made this argument. He said she should be fired as well.
Okay. So because
And
event
he has
status
hundreds
thinks
of
she should be
thousands of
fired
subscribers
there,
on YouTube. He's had hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube. Wouldn't he be a bigger target to go after?
I don't know. Is he doing this consistently? Has he established a pattern of making shitty arguments and sticking to them forever?
Has he backed down from his position on Allison Rapp?
I don't know. Does that matter?
No, he hasn't. Yes, it does, because if he hasn't backed down, if he hasn't recanted his statements, that means he's still standing by them.
That's not
so
the
yes,
argument
that would
that
be
I'm
correct.
making. The argument that I'm making is that you have a history of making bad arguments to detract from the core issues.
No, the problem is I'm dealing with people that don't want to have an argument in good faith, and I keep on falling for that trick, which is, I guess that's life.
I'm sure that's what the problem looks like to you, but to me, it looks like you're making intentionally bad arguments to detract from the issues.
Why should I care if you think my arguments are bad? It's subjective. It's really up to the person whether or not an argument is good or not.
I disagree, but
I think it's up to
whatever.
the audience, yeah.
That's precisely the point. It's subjective. You can't really. The only way you could objectively measure it is if you did opinion polls, and even then you're only going to get a grasp of it. I mean, it's kind of like the thing that I have an issue with is I'm not even done listening to people that actually agree with me on this issue that are bigger than me, and you're still singling me out as controlled opposition. I mean,
Yeah,
Nikki
yeah,
has
because
also
you've established a history of, in the past, making similar arguments.
honestly, it just comes across as you're looking for a vector for a character attack against me for some reason. Why
That's
is
really
that?
easy to find, though. Do you remember when you focused on Sargon, despite the fact that Sargon had questionable opinions at best about crowdfunding services like Kickstarter?
I don't see how
You
Sargon is in any
focused on
way
the
a
fact
parallel to
that
this.
his game that he made is not yet released and is delayed.
I focused on both. You decided to focus on Vector because you're a cuck.
That's a
Holy
really good argument you've made there.
Yeah.
Hey,
No, John
Satan.
Kelly, I think that you sound like the controlled opposition. And I think that you
Okay.
singled Allison Rapp out because she's a very easy scapegoat for them to deflect from. Because
Hey, Satan.
Well, if you would like, I could disclose the checks I'm getting from Gawker as from, like, you know, put in my bank account, and I'll share that with the world.
Satan, you donated to low-paying charities?
I totally, definitely donated to the sea lions.
Why
the fuck
would
did
you do that?
For the
Because
lulz.
I like sea lions. And I live near San Francisco, and there's a bunch of sea lions over here, and I actually donate to the WWF yearly anyway, because I can get matching from a benefit that I have.
How many low-paying charities did you donate to?
I think just
Why would
the
you
one. Although
why
I
would you
also
support
did
that guy?
donate substantially to 8chan Development and to, what's that other thing? The TFYC.
You paid Josh money? You paid Josh to do development?
Yes, I paid Josh's rent for
Why
3
the
months
fuck did
for
you
him
do
to
that?
work on Infinity Next.
Hey, I donated to Josh too, so fuck me.
Yeah, like, I don't think that this is... Like, why would you call me controlled opposition when you don't even know what you're doing?
I don't know. I think
But
that Infinity Next actually worked out about as well as it could have.
But I really don't see how the argument I made is bad. You haven't demonstrated that. You're just trying to pick apart whatever little nitpick you can.
The argument
of
that
just,
you made
like,
is bad because the particular target that you've chosen is a woman who does not work directly on the video games in question.
So you believe because she's a woman, she should be free from criticism?
No, I absolutely
sounds-
don't believe that. But I
Then
think
don't
that
make an
your
argument.
reasons for targeting this particular individual are poisoned.
That's disgusting. You would think that. That's
Well,
like basically a
isn't the reason that we are looking into this and the reason that we have a problem with Nintendo Treehouse because they released a poorly done game that was severely censored?
Well, the thing is, I saw
Is
people.
that not the case? Do you not care about that?
Why does my motive matter in writing the article? Shouldn't you be attacking the piece itself instead of attacking me? That's my point. You're trying to attack me specifically when other people have made the same arguments I have, when other people have stood by those arguments, including
It does
event
stick
status,
out
low
to me that
pay.
you have never clearly stated your motives. In fact, in this article that I'm looking at right now that you wrote about Allison Rapp, you do not state your motives. You do not state why you personally have a problem with it. You simply say that Allison Rapp is vocal for pedophiles and that it is unacceptable.
Wouldn't that be the most fair way to write an article to let the reader decide, as you have?
Well, why are you writing an article in the first place? What's your problem with it?
I
What
want
do
to
you
write
think?
an article on it. Why do I have to give you a reason for it? Is there a reason why a writer has to say why he's writing something? That's silly. That's never been a standard.
It gives the audience context. It lets us know why you have an issue with this person. And I think it's telling that when you are directly asked why you have a particular issue with this individual, you deflect.
I've already
What is your
I
issue
haven't.
with Allison Rapp, and why did you choose to focus on her rather than the quality
I
of the
already
game
answered this question.
released by the
I already-
translators?
Because she's a PR agent representing Nintendo, and she's being vocal about advocating for laws and policies that would help pedophiles out. Why would I want to support
in
that?
what way does this help your goals, and what goals does it help?
I do not like pedophile advocacy.
Is that it?
There's that, and that's the central point, really. I mean, like,
No,
even
aren't
if
there a lot
torrential
of people
downpour,
on Twitter who advocate against pedophilia? Why did you focus on one person from Nintendo
I've called out
Treehouse?
other people. I've called out other people who have done the same thing. I have. I've said this is a salon, that Anna Cherry person that people mentioned. I can't be aware
Yes.
of everything, dude. Like, you're trying to say that I'm applying selective standards here. I'm not for anyone doing this.
I don't think that you're applying selective standards. I think that you pick targets, and then you find whatever you could use to attack those people, even if it's completely irrelevant to your actual problem.
So
Where did you hear this?
basically,
Wait,
what
hold on a
you're
minute. No,
saying,
wait.
no. What you're saying is John Kelly is Gamergate's The Punisher.
No. He finds a person
I
who
might
works
actually
for
put that on my
Nintendo
Twitter bio.
Treehouse because a lot of people are mad at Nintendo Treehouse for releasing
By the way,
a shitty
Rad, have
game.
you checked out my Twitter bio? Just check it out for a sec.
And then when he's done, after he's selected a target, which is in this case Nintendo Treehouse, and he picked them because Twitter is upset and Anonymous is upset, he knows he can get attention. Then he picks a person who has an easily attackable vector to initiate a witch hunt. Which in this case is the fact that you made a tweet advocating pedophilia.
Witch hunts don't exist because witches don't exist. Try a better argument.
So anyway, I want to take this break to say Freach.net and MasterChan.org are the better anonymous image.
Can I take this moment to declare you a moron and that you're a faggot and need to die now?
Like,
yeah, but this YouTube channel does not endorse those websites.
Freach.net. Take that down. Jot it down on your notepad.
The views and opinions of Male Goddess are not the opinions of this YouTube channel.
Yes, they are. They totes are, and Dan is fully responsible.
The views and opinions of John Kelly are not the views and opinions of John Kelly are not the opinions of this YouTube.
Dude, no one cares. No one cares. No one's gonna give a shit about the stream. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, whatever.
Relax, dude.
Remember, Freach.net. Freach.net.
Great channel.
Like I've heard this. Hold on, but I want to ask Satan where he heard this line of rhetoric about picking targets and witch hunts, because it sounds familiar. I just can't put my finger on it. Where'd you hear this
because
first?
I have had an original thought, it must have come from somebody else.
No, I'm not saying that's necessarily the case. No, hold on. You asked me a question. That's not necessarily the case. Hold on, you asked me a question. That's not necessarily the case. But I did hear this line of rhetoric before. So the question of so because I have a particular line of reasoning that must have come from someone else, that's not necessarily the case. I didn't say that. What I said was, it sounds familiar, so I'm asking if you did hear it from someone else.
Maybe you have heard some opposition from somebody intelligent in the past.
I highly doubt that the line of rhetoric you're using is exactly the same.
Yeah, there's no way that you would ever talk to anybody intelligent, because your goal is to sow discord, since you are the controlled opposition.
No.
Yeah.
There's nothing to substantiate that theory.
What about your participation in the Wall Street thing? What was that called? Occupy. What about your participation in Occupy?
You got proof of that?
See, he laughs as if it didn't happen. As if he's never even heard of Dr. Daedalus before. And he has to laugh because he has no other defense to these accusations.
Who's laughing?
We must. We know we must.
Hold it, guys. John Kelly is a police John Kelly is a police commissioner. Why would he be involved in Occupy Wall Street? Come on.
Hold up. You know, John Kelly is a Navy brat, and he lives on the East Coast. I've already figured it all out. His accent and everything. He lives on the East Coast, New England, somewhere around Boston. He's a Navy brat. He knows too much about the military to be a civilian. But he's not military. He's a Navy brat. He lives somewhere.
Let's play this game.
And he's not from a Chan site, and he's not from Reddit. He just came out of nowhere.
Let's just say that all those things are true, correct? If all those things are true, okay, let's just say they are true. Let's go with that. All right.
Many others besides me have pointed this out. I'm pretty sure you've got a thread on Tally right now.
Why does any of that have to do with my my article? That's the question
because you're refusing to state your reasons for going after Allison Rapp.
I already stated them.
Oh yeah, because you have a problem with pedophiles?
That's the TLDR version of it, but it's a bit more nuanced than that.
I don't know. I find that very questionable.
I'm against I'm against pedophile advocacy. I don't like it when people advocate for pedophiles. I don't like it when Alison Rapp did it. I don't like it when Miley Yiannopoulos did it, and I don't like it when a lot of these jokers do it. It's disgusting.
Therefore, she should lose her job.
In this particular case, because it's relevant to her job and she's tied her advocacy to her job, it makes her a shit PR rep. Unless you want to argue otherwise.
So it's my opinion that Nintendo Treehouse should be shut down or should be not used because they release shitty video games. And this has nothing to do with anything that one of their PR representatives said on Twitter one time. And this is a very simple, straight to the point argument people can understand.
Can I ask you a question?
Hold on.
I mean, no, one thing. How does John Kelly's article hinder you in your goal there?
Well, because instead of pointing out the stupid shit that other people do, I'm in here with John Kelly. This takes up more time to point that shit out.
Is that?
This is essentially the same thing as when a senator takes the floor for a filibuster. This is what John Kelly is doing to Gamergate, and has been for his entire history.
What's up, Rebuild?
And you laugh like it's not true, but it is.
Because it isn't true, it's just hilarious.
Have you heard of Up Rebuild? Do you know who started Up Rebuild?
Who started Up Rebuild?
I'll give you a hint. His name is John Kelly.
His name is John Kelly. Started Up Rebuild.
Yeah, didn't you know?
He's the one who decided that it would be great to buy the video games of the developers that were shitting on us.
That wasn't Op Rebuild.
I'm pretty sure it was.
No, that
was Olive Branch.
Olive Branch. No, that wasn't. No, Olive Branch is.
Olive Branch was the code name of Op Rebuild before it went public.
There you go. Op Rebuild was basically
what are you doing for the Fire Emblem Fates translation project, John Kelly?
I'm not doing anything with that. That's not my that's not my vector.
It's a lot more important to talk shit about Alison Rapp than it is to do work on a video game, then, isn't it?
Do you agree it was right for Josh to take on tasks that he was not qualified to do?
Yes, I do agree.
That is the exact reason why I'm not working on Fire Emblem. I have enough sense to know I wouldn't be of help with that project.
Yeah, since when does John Kelly know Japanese? Come on.
I don't know Japanese, and I don't have the patience to go through doing the stuff that Thidrin and other people are doing.
So your defense in this case is incompetence. There's nothing better that you can spend your effort on besides talking shit about Alison Rapp on Twitter. That's the best thing.
When was the last time he mentioned Alison Rapp, even?
I don't know, about 4 hours ago.
Besides your argument with him.
On Twitter, where he was arguing with Grey Knight.
People decide to argue with me, and I respond back, and they don't like it when I respond back.
Actually, you talked over Grey Knight for about 10 minutes because he's not as forceful in his arguments as I am.
Grey Knight interview. How long ago was that?
That was like yesterday, wasn't it?
No.
The thing about Grey Knight is he likes to call me a liar, and I don't really know why. He just decides to go after me for whatever reason. And
maybe it's because you're the controlled opposition who makes bad arguments to fucking derail the conversation.
Sargon's Law.
Grey Knight doesn't... There you go.
No, I thought that Sargon was one of the persona non grata to Kelly. I thought that because Sargon hasn't released a video game.
Hold on.
I'm not Kelly, I love Sargon.
Are you really going to say that Sargon I consider Sargon persona non grata, considering the
in streams where I would have had the opportunity to confront Sargon on some of his questionable stances.
And you defended Sargon, continue.
Some of the things that he's done, and
you defended Sargon, continue.
Consume the entire time talking about Sargon's Necromancer project. You actually have actively stopped me from engaging in conversation with this individual.
Bullshit. You can contact Sargon any... Hold on, doesn't Sargon follow you on Twitter?
He used to. He unfollowed a while ago, but we don't really talk about the same shit anymore.
Before that, couldn't you have contacted Sargon any time and say, hey, what's with all the shady stuff going on with the project?
He's a pretty popular guy at the time, and in fact, no, I had a limited pull of influence with Sargon that I used to
Sargon will respond to Spurgs that have like 200 followers just to argue with them. I'm pretty sure it's easy for you.
Significant influence to get Sargon into our streams several times. And then proceeded to filibust him, and we have this on record. So don't even start that shit.
Hold on, get the record then. You said we have it on record. Go get
You
it.
are the anti-Gamergate controlled opposition.
You use
Sargon's
terms
law.
like pro and anti. You use terms like pro and anti-Gamergate, and it's 2016. What is wrong
You
with
really
you?
are. I mean, there's no other way to
Do you
put
have
it.
any
And you're the last
proof?
one left.
Do you
I
have any
think.
proof? Proof, Satan. Proof.
You can just look at my channel if you want it. I mean, it's going to be difficult to pull
Is
that
that
up
proof?
out of hours and hours of
Is that
logs.
proof? Is that proof?
This is nothing more than an allegation without proof. Either substantiate or shut up.
All right, let me fucking pull up my Twitter and search through 48 hours of video for you to
All right,
find.
provide
You're
proof,
the one
not,
making the claim.
not videos. Proof.
Okay,
you would think you would have substantiated proof.
There are
of
two
John
streams
Kelly.
in which we spent the majority of the stream talking to Sargon, at least, in which John Kelly argued about shit that was stupid. and
Yeah,
didn't
but
matter.
you don't have proof.
No,
You
I do
not
have proof. They're recorded. They're here somewhere. I just have to find them.
Isn't that the stream where you argued what a lie was for 2 hours
There
because
was
you're
at
an
least
autist?
2 streams, dude.
No, wait. I seem to recall this stream. Didn't you argue for like 2 hours what a lie is because you're an autist?
And I tried to get into Sargon's opinions on Kickstarter.
No.
quite a
You're
few
dodging the
times,
question. Didn't you
and had
argue
them
for 2
derailed
hours?
by you.
Didn't you argue for 2 hours what a lie is because you're an
I'm
autist?
looking it up right now, and we can let the evidence speak for itself, in which you
Why are
spurred
we
out.
going to go through a 2 hour stream when we both remember what happened? You argued for 2 hours about what a lie is.
I don't know, dude. I seem to
Just get
remember
proof.
you pissing Sargon
Proof.
off.
You should have
royally.
fucking proof. You should have fucking proof of your fucking claims. If you've got claims of John Kelly being whatever the fuck you claim he is, you should have proof.
I
You
don't
shouldn't,
No.
We definitely have
you
the
shouldn't have to
Sargon John
dig through
Kelly
it.
stream
You should
somewhere.
have it ready.
What do you mean I should have it ready?
If you've got
Yeah.
claims, you should have it at the ready.
Come on, let's be fair. Wait.
What's to be fair about? I mean, it's just a disingenuous accusation. Why should I even
You know
bother
what? Why
defending
don't I
myself
just
against
tweet
it?
Sargon right now and ask him if you have ever
Do
wasted
it.
his time with completely
Do it.
inane-
Hold on. I
Yeah,
know,
that sounds like fun.
Yeah, let's do this right now.
there
Do
was
it. Go for it.
Hey,
Anyone here-
Sargon of Akkad.
hold on. Before you do that,
Get
have
Carl on the
John
stream
Kelly.
right now.
No,
Get
hold on.
Carl
I'm
in
gonna
here right
start
now.
with-
Stream saying he never
Before
intentionally
you say that, before
wasted
you-
your time to
before you tweet
prevent
that, are you?
others from
Before you
speaking
tweet
with
that.
you.
I think fucking Satan's
Or whatever.
controlled opposition. Just give me a couple hours to fucking dig up the proof, and I'll
no,
dig it
Satan
up.
is not smart enough or competent enough to be controlled opposition. He does not have what it takes. I can confirm that. That is a baseless
I don't
accusation
know, I
against
did
Satan.
kind of manage to troll about 300,000 Reddit users into dunking Zoe Quinn.
Hold up, give
I don't
me,
think you-
give
I
me
don't
some
think that
time to
We
dig
had
it up. I'll
significant help
find it.
there, but
But that doesn't do anything. It just helps the opposition because you're propping up a professional victim.
oh, really?
Yeah, that's the argument used against me with Allison Rapp. So by your standard and your logic, that would apply to you as well. So
you want to
who's
look
the
at the
real shield
difference
here?
between Zoe Quinn and Allison Rapp
No,
for a minute?
I don't think I have enough time for that.
Hey,
argument.
go for
One
it.
of those two people claims to be a game developer, and the other one doesn't. One of them has actually worked on
Isn't that ID
supposedly
pol-
video games that they're credited
Wait,
in.
isn't that identity politics?
One of
Oh,
them-
she's a game developer.
One of
Jesus
them
Christ.
has engaged in sex for favors, and the other one has not.
And what's the difference? And that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. This is a red herring.
It has nothing to do with anything. I'm pretty sure that you're the person who brought that up.
Nah, I think
This is so
Allison
gigantic.
Rapp
We're so
has-
far off
If we're,
topic.
talking, if we're talking credentials, Allison Rapp has better credentials than Quinn easy. But that,
Yeah.
that's the
But,
same.
but at the same time, she's done significantly less offensive things in the context of the game industry. I don't see why Allison Rapp
think
needs to be
it's-
focused on in any way.
I'd say it's
Well,
about the same.
Well, that's because you're single focused. That's why you couldn't really, that's why I say that Mel Gaz is wrong about you being controlled opposition. Like I said, you don't have the chops to actually do anything. That's why people leech off of me. It's because they're using me as a crutch because they can't produce their own content.
What is the substantial stuff that you've done? What exactly have you contributed to, John Kelly?
I have done a ton of research.
Ton
some
of
which I
research.
was-
You've turned up all the tweets in which Allison Rapp said pedophile stuff.
I didn't just do the Allison Rapp stuff. I did a whole bunch of other stuff, but you don't bother to
You
read what I
found a whole
actually
bunch
write.
of other people saying pedophile stuff. And then you put that out there so that people in Gamergate would argue about it instead of arguing about things that matter to
Why should people
filibust
on Gamergate
Gamergate.
argue with each other when they should be just winning?
Why does
Why can't
no,
they just
hold on?
decide?
Why does
Well,
why
you are
does
one of the
why do
primary Gamergate
contributions matter?
filibusters.
No. Why do contributions matter? Why can't if John wants to keep his
Well, he's
contributions?
the one that said he's done a lot. I'm not the one who's coming out here saying, "Oh, look at all the stuff that I've done."
You're the one challenging me to an argument about based on what I do, and I decided to respond because I figured that I throw you a
I'm
bone.
challenging you to an argument based on what you said, actually.
Which
Let's get
was
some more stuff that you've said. Remember that argument that we were having on Twitter? Let's look at the context of what you were arguing with Grey Knight about.
is this a stream with Sarge? Because this is boring.
No, I was just looking at the Twitter conversation you just had.
This is so dumb. Why can't we talk about something that actually matters instead of this
You
bullshit?
can talk about Rip
Well,
Twitter.
maybe you shouldn't have
Johnny,
had
what are you
such a
talking about?
long, obnoxious, annoying conversation with Grey Knight where you tried to shit on him for 4 hours.
Why do you care if John has
Oh,
fun?
I'm sorry, it was 6 hours.
It
What's
wasn't
your
6
problem?
hours.
What's your problem with Grey Knight exactly, Kelly? Why do you need
Well-
to focus on this guy? What has he done?
He's
Maybe
a
he's
petty
doing
special.
something for Gamergate right now that you don't like, that you would prefer he stop. What is
This is a
that?
stupid
Did you even
argument. Why do
post
I...
it, Gamergate?
Hold on a minute.
What
Hold
is-
on a minute. Hold on a minute. The nature of the question is dumb because he keeps on thinking that my life is attached to Gamergate, which is stupid.
Well, you
I
do
don't
spend a
care.
significant portion of it working on it, right?
So, that's not everything I do.
So,
I don't owe Gamergate anything. You're making it sound like I have to worship some god before some altar and make sacrifices before. It's dumb. It's a religious
I
argument.
think that you should probably worship Satan. And I think that you should make some sacrifices for Satan.
And I think you're
okay.
a faggot who needs to have his shit pushed in, but we're not
Well,
going
what
to
I see on Twitter is that you saying, with no significant supporting evidence whatsoever, that Grey Knight threatened to sue you for libel. That's what I see.
Nobody
That's
cares
how
about
it'd
this.
be good.
Nobody cares about that. I'm pretty sure that Grey Knight cares that you said that he threatened to sue you
Why
for
do I
libel.
care
Do you
about
have any
Grey
proof
Knight's
of
feelings?
that?
Why do I care about Grey Knight's feelings? He's a cunt.
His
Why should I
feelings?
bother
I'm
his-
pretty sure that you weren't talking about
This
his
is an
feelings.
emotional argument with feelings.
You were telling Elsevier Auxiliatrix and me and Sacre Blue Cheese, whoever the fuck that is, that this person, oh yeah, you told Varolo too, that Grey Knight threatened to sue you for libel.
No, I didn't say that.
Now, that sounds libelous to me.
I didn't say that.
You
I
didn't
said
say
that he... No, I didn't.
You
I said
haven't
threatened to sue
implied
Varelo
it
for
in this
libel.
tweet.
I
You
said that...
You said...
I said... He
Careful.
said...
He might threaten to sue us for libel.
Yeah. And what's wrong with that? He might threaten to sue us for libel. That's something that he could totally do. Anyone can make a dumb threat, and
He
he
could
has
totally
made
sue
several
you
dumb
for
threats.
libel?
He could
Why are
try.
you libeling Grey Knight? Publicly.
Anyone can sue anyone for
We
anything.
don't agree with your agenda.
I
Can we
just
talk
want my
about
dick in
someone
your
other-
mouth, Satan.
Can we
Why are you
s-
white knighting? Wait, why are you white knighting for Grey Knight? I don't get this.
Why are we talking about Grey Knight?
Because
He
this
isn't
is
here.
what pissed me off that made me want to talk to you.
Because this is
conversation
a
here.
stream of autism, and somehow Grey Knight is relevant because, of course, that faggot's relevant.
Yeah,
He
let's
I
just
can
is
only
relevant.
focus on
I want
individual
my dick in
arguments.
his mouth.
If you're asking
Now,
me for shit like proof and you're asking for citations, I'm going to have to look at specific stupid shit that you said in the
Keep on
past
changing
that
the
I have proof and
goalposts.
citations for. And if you don't like the shit that I come up with, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to open up and swallow anyway.
Okay, well then I have a
Yeah,
question for
you
you.
better swallow,
So
you
what is
motherfucker.
your
sense
problem
does it-
with Grey
Why
Knight?
would someone argue that someone advocating for pedophiles is perfectly acceptable to work at Nintendo?
That's not what I'm arguing. I'm
Why are you
arguing that
arguing?
you are intentionally focusing on Allison Rapp because your argument is easily ignored by Nintendo.
Why are you defending Allison Rapp? That's my
It's
question.
not easily ignored. It's not easily ignored.
It seems to
She's
be
not-
pretty easily ignored because they haven't even made a statement, and she
The
still has a
numbers,
job,
the
right?
numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. I've
What
gotten
numbers?
I've gotten over 70,000 hits on the Medium article.
You've gotten
The article's been shared
70,000 hits.
70,000.
Followers relevant.
Hits, not
And
followers.
yeah, it's an
That's what
you're
makes,
basically
that's what it makes me think of.
you're arguing impact, right?
Yeah.
I had significant impact. It was the only thing.
And then
Yeah, you
should have.
successfully
other
wasted
people cited
70,000
his
people's
article.
time. That's
Other
what you did.
articles cited his
70,000
article.
people read your stupid article.
Yeah, only
We
70,000
don't
people read it,
say what
but
your
other
boss of
articles
Allison
cited
Rudd
it.
We've seemed to like it a lot.
It's providing me hours of entertainment, but I'm not the average.
And others
Here's
cited
the
it.
thing. Here's the complex that people have in Gamergate. It's like they've gotten Seattle's disease. It's where they become so obsessed with me specifically, they can't do anything else but obsess
John
over me.
Kelly Rose!
Yeah, didn't I already make a video about that?
Sabotaging my digs.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Sabotage
The
my
problem with
fucking
Gamergate isn't me. It's people paying attention to me when they should be paying attention to things that are really relevant to them, like your boycotts. Why can't you focus on that instead of worrying about some person on
Well,
the
because the
internet writing an
boycotts don't
article?
actually matter anymore now that there's no sales depression to
Oh,
take
they do.
advantage of.
Why can't we
That's
make
because-
one of our own?
Are you talking about the boycott against Pillars of
What I
Eternity?
see here
Where
is
they-
you deflecting away from the issue of you being the controlled opposition to Gamergate
Hold
to
up, but
silence the
boycotts don't work, right?
Hold on,
Boycotts don't work.
Satan. Do you
That's
have
not
proof?
Satan's
Do you
argument.
have
Hold on.
proof?
Satan has never said boycotts don't work. I don't want to label the accusations against him. It's one of the few things I like about Satan. However, what I will say, Satan, what companies do you want to boycott? Like what one off the top of your head?
I don't know. This sounds like a deflection. This sounds like changing the subject.
It's not.
It
changing
is.
the subject. It's not. No, it's not. I'm leading to a point. What company do you want to boycott?
I would make fun of anybody for buying an Ubisoft game right now.
Okay, in Ubisoft. Why don't you focus on
Yeah, but-
Ubisoft's shitty practices and point out how they're not worth the dollar of the consumer? And why don't you point out to their anti-consumer statements and their ties with people like Anita Sarkeesian?
That's what I do.
Yeah,
When
so
was
why
the
are you
last time-
focusing on this bullshit instead of getting that done? Because you're not making that much of an impact on Twitter. You have to do more and put yourself out there in order to get what you want done. That's the lesson you should take from this, not focus on me constantly and all the time, like so many people seem to do. All they seem to do is look for vectors to attack me.
Perhaps that's because you invite this type of criticism to waste everybody's time.
All
And
right,
I can
I'm-
probably save a lot of people a lot of time by debunking all your bullshit right now so that they don't have to waste their time on you. And I can
But you
free
already
up
lost
people like
the
Grey
argument.
Knight to do something more valuable with their time than
Then
talking
argue
to
with
you.
Grey Knight
When you
instead of-
want to
Yes.
intentionally waste their time.
Wait a minute.
So
wait a minute.
anyway, I'm about
Why
to go to
aren't you
sleep.
arguing with people like Grey Knight when instead you're arguing with me, who's actually doing something?
Well, because I
it may
don't
not be
actually
different.
see Grey Knight saying anything stupid. And when I looked at the stream that you were in with
But
Grey
he is
Knight,
saying
I saw you talking over him the entire time. And he was making valid points, and you just talk over him.
But
Because he
anyway,
wasn't
I'm about to go to bed. I just want to say,
Hold on. Let Brad let him have the floor to say goodnight.
all right, yeah, I'm going to sleep. John Kelly is the board owner of GG Revolt. He led it all. He's been the divide and conquer champion of it all.
Yeah. John Kelly killed Abraham Lincoln.
Exactly.
John
He's,
Kelly also did
I'm not saying he did everything. All I'm saying is that the
But
things
anyway,
that he chooses to
just saying
focus on are
goodnight.
chosen intentionally to waste your time.
John Kelly shot AFK in a rice field.
I can't, but that's where you're wrong. The central premise of your argument is incorrect because I'm not forcing anyone to focus on me. People choose to focus on me.
I don't think that makes it wrong, dude. I'm pretty sure you just said a line of bullshit.
You keep
So-
on asserting this, but you can't actually make a cogent argument. You've been trying every vector you can against me and failing miserably.
I'm just stating what I believe, and
what you
everybody who's
believe-
listening can feel free to believe or disbelieve. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not making anybody listen.
Let me guess.
They're tuning in all by
Raising
themselves.
Awareness.
Say it again.
I said, let me guess. You're just raising awareness, aren't you?
Just raising awareness.
Isn't that virtual signaling?
Yep.
Gee, well, who else?
So how exactly, John Kelly, is this any different from what you
Yeah,
did
how is
with
what
your
you're
article
doing?
about Allison Rapp? You could have been
Because
doing
I'm
something
not-
else, right?
Yes, he could. John, were you happy with the results? Were you happy you did the article?
I'm
this work
glad I
out
did the
well for
article.
you?
What'd you say, Steve?
My only regret was not doing more, to be honest.
I kind of regret that you didn't do more too, because instead of having a well thought out article, you just spewed a bunch of bullshit onto a page without even making core accusations.
Saying,
I
you could do a video or an article yourself on this.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
This kind of counts.
You're
I
arguing.
guess.
I'm showing
No,
everybody
it
that
wasn't.
you
It's
are
not.
the
You're
cuck
point.
who cooks
Oh.
Gamergate, and
Oh,
that they
it
shouldn't
says
waste any more of
you're
their
the
valuable
person
time
who
on
said-
you.
You're the person arguing that we shouldn't go after Allison Rapp. That makes you a cuck, not me.
Well, how do you feel, John Kelly, after all the time and effort that you have put into Gamergate, to at the very end of it be known as the opposition? You're just
That's
the
great.
guy,
That
who
is-
came in to waste everybody else's time.
I created a supervillain's persona without even intending to. That is awesome. I can't help what other people believe, but what they believe is awesome. I mean, it's kind of like reptilians. I don't believe in reptilians, but I think the fact that people actually believe it is awesome.
Rent free.
So John Kelly's response to me saying that he is the controlled opposition is to start a rant about the reptilians.
Pretty much.
Why not? Because
You're free to believe who you want to believe, people, but before you give
You
John
believe in
Kelly the
witches.
time of day, before you decide to argue or talk to him or be on one of his streams or do anything that John Kelly wants you to do, you might want to consider that he is only here to troll you and waste your time and make you mad about shit that will not help you in any way.
Sargon's Law. Sargon's Law.
Yeah, that's actually what you do, Satan, constantly.
Do it to you to stop you from doing it to
Why
other
do you
people.
bother with it? Why do you bother? Why do you bother? Why do you care?
I don't know. Why do I care about
Why
this
do
stuff?
you
That's
care?
a good
Yes,
question.
why do you care? This is stupid. It's like you should be helping me getting shit done instead
I
of
should
like
be helping
trying
you
to.
shit on Allison Rapp for saying that the age of consent is 13 in Japan.
Good evening.
Good timing, Beer Musexual. I was just about to run out of material.
So I noticed something you said earlier, John, that struck me a little odd. Now, you say you dug up the information on Allison Rapp. Now, I do distinctly remember having a conversation with you just not too many nights past to where you said specifically that you were not the one who dug up that information. In fact, you did very little in that. It was passed to you or you noticed it posted on Twitter by one Panda.
No.
Well, do I need to?
Himself.
And I
That
do
is
realize
inaccurate.
that conversation that we had was not on a live stream. However, I do have a recording of it.
That's fine. You have a recording of it, but we both know we don't want that released. Agreed?
Oh no, I can release it if I feel. That's fine.
That's not what you told me in private.
Well, things change.
The only reason I said not to release that is specifically because you requested it not be released.
This is shill behavior. This is operating behind closed doors and direct messages and then trying to frighten people into not releasing your messages by saying things like, people won't trust you if you leak my DMs. Instead of doing things in the
Here's the
open.
thing. I have never
Wanting me to join
good
speak
guy.
chats
Hold on.
instead of public
That's not
discourse with audiences.
Okay, so John, so you did dig up all the information on Allison Rapp? Is that what you're saying?
I did collect the information, and I
So
did.
wait, no. You collected the information from what source?
Why do I have to disclose my sources?
Because you already have disclosed your sources, John.
Okay, one of the sources disclosed in the article is the person that it's actually written in the article who helped me get the paper on it. I forget the Twitter name. Someone called I forget the name of it. There was that guy. There was also.
So you're being passed this information from people you won't tell us about and pretending that you're the one who uncovered it. And we're supposed to believe the
Let
things
Beermo
that
get
you
to his
say.
point. Let Beermo
No,
get
that
to his
was
point before
that
we-
was my point, and he's very no. My point is what he's saying right now. So go ahead, answer.
What is?
So how can we
Why does
vet
it
the
matter?
sources of this information if we don't even know who they come from?
John, it matters because we're asking. You seem to get really pissy when people don't answer your questions. You have no right to sit here and demand that you don't have to answer a question when you demand that other people do. You know, there's this thing about that you always like to harp
arguing
on
about
about.
the rules of-
No, hold on, John. You always like to argue about how selectively people are choosing to do one thing or the other. You are the king of selectively choosing what to do, what to say, and what to answer, while demanding that other people do answer every stupid little leading question you have. You have a long history of shitting all over people with information that you've stretched out to infinity to make it somehow seem like it's a different way than it actually is.
Why are you arguing with me when other people are arguing the same points I am, including on this very stream?
Well, because, John, I can pick and choose my targets, much as you
So
can.
can I.
Yeah.
So can I. So I don't see that's relevant.
You're
Okay.
both
No,
a
okay, so
collection
you
of
can do that.
Okay, so you asked me
faggots,
specifically.
man.
You asked me
God.
specifically because he demands I ask questions, but then interrupts me whenever I try to answer them. You asked me specifically where I got my sources from, right?
Yeah.
I saw people tweeting out this information on Twitter. I saw people. I also did my own digging. In addition to that, which is why I'm clarifying your statements, Loping was not actually one of the people who actually dug up the sources. He never digs up any sources.
Well, no, but you
Mambot
said
did-
to me that he
Mambot-
was the
hold
person
on,
you saw
hold
it
on.
from.
I saw him talking about it. I didn't say he was one of the sources, just to clarify that. I did
Okay.
see Mambot megaphone certain tweets, which I did eventually include in the article. That is accurate. I also got one of the sources from someone who was willing to help with this, and he cited in the article. I forget his Twitter handle. Forgive me for that.
Well, for people who seem to demand evidence so much, you seem to lack it and say, "Oh, I forgot," quite a bit.
Can I ask you a question? Why does it matter? They're public tweets.
No, okay, here,
Anyone could go to the Twitter.
Azu,
Yeah, my
you're not part of
stream-
this conversation.
my
Stop
stream
trying to
I'm the
was
host
talking
of
about
this.
the more public
I'm the host of this conversation. I'm the
Oh,
host
you're
of
a
this.
big man, aren't you? Okay. Anyways, John,
bigger than
as
you.
you were saying,
Oh, shut up, Beard Mo, and drop the internet tough guy act for like 5 fucking seconds.
you don't own a mirror, do you?
I think it's funny when you get a dose of your own medicine.
Okay, John, sure. All right, go ahead with what you were saying, though.
I finished what I was saying. You can go on.
Okay. All right, so I have a bit of I brought this up with you whenever we had our argument, our nice extensive 5-hour argument the other day. I'd like to kind of give this out to the panel of people here. So say an individual works for a grocery store. Say our John here gets a job and he starts working for Kroger. Now, somebody takes a photo of John working, tags him on Facebook, and therefore clearly on his profile it shows that he works for Kroger's. Now, on his social media page, that is clearly his own, although it is linked to his work now, he does say some really terrible shit about a person he doesn't like in town. Well, that person just so happens to be somebody who shops at Kroger. They get upset. They demand that John Kelly is fired from Kroger's, and Kroger fires him. Now, was it right for Kroger to fire him in that stand?
Why are you deciding what?
No. Just what was it right
I'd
for you
ask
to be
why
fired?
you're constructing an obvious thing of straw, my friend.
And once again, you're not answering the question. It
This
seems
is
you
what
guys
I'm
are
saying.
afraid to
Not
look like
answering
you're
the
doing
question.
this.
Of course
Let
I'm
me
not
cut in
answering
for
the
a sec
question
just here.
because your question is fucking stupid.
Hang on a sec, guys.
Oh, well, that's
This is what Thidrin and I were doing earlier. Remember when Thidrin started saying that he wanted to lay the groundwork for something? And I said, okay, let's answer a few questions, leading questions, so that you can pin me with your argument. That's the kind of thing that needs to happen sometimes. And it's
yes,
okay.
hypotheticals are useful.
They are
Yes.
very useful.
Only if they are in fact
Hold on.
constructed correctly. This
No,
one
that's
is not even constructed correctly.
Yeah, why not
Everybody
answer
else
with a
in
yes or
Rand's
no to this?
situation.
Well,
the
here's the
issue.
problem with strawmen. Here's the problem with strawmen. You have to answer them and point out how it's not actually the same case.
We
That's
have
but
how
to
you're
you
follow-
not
we have to follow the
offering
time
an
between
answer.
That situation and
I
this
am-
one.
I
Here's
was going
the
to-
answer,
hold on.
Beardmo. There's a difference between John Kelly making the fucking connection and someone else making the fucking connection.
That has nothing to do with the question I asked. Are you even
Yes,
listening?
Yes,
it
it does.
is,
Completely
you
relevant.
fucking moron. You say, oh, someone has John Kelly on his fucking
I
social-
got what you were saying there. Sorry, that was a little slow there. So okay, no, all right. No, I get that. But here's the thing.
Wait, can you explain it? Because I didn't understand either.
Yeah, the connection, they meant the connection that he works for the company. But that still, like, while I understand that she does put that there, the way you guys argue this argument is the fact that Allison Rapp, that her personal account is a Nintendo account because it says Nintendo in it, when you all know that is not the case. It's not.
her
It's a
public
personal account. No, it's a personal
Do I
account.
need to read her
I'm not
bio?
saying it's a private account.
then
a
you have no
personal
argument.
account.
Then
No,
you
I do.
have no argument.
No,
you
because
don't.
there's a big difference between personal and professional, John. Somebody who
Yeah.
doesn't work probably wouldn't know the difference very well, and it's sad to say, sadly, you don't have a job, John.
Isn't that a basic
Sadly, you do
character test?
very little. No, yeah, by all means. I don't act like I'm a good guy. I've
Okay,
never
so
acted
basically
like I was a good guy.
you're criticizing me and being a moral arbiter of what I do and don't do, and then
John,
basically doing the exact same
John,
thing because that's
You
hold on.
yourself think you are
Are
a
you
moral
using
arbiter.
that as a justification to being the fucking
That's literally what
conspiracy?
you're doing with Allison Rapp. You realize that, right? So you're calling me
What?
out for attacking you in the same way that you're attacking Allison
well,
Rapp?
Here's the thing.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
going to call me the moral arbiter, the same standard applies to you. So if
That's
I can't do what I
fine.
do,
You can shit on
can't
me
do what
all
you
you
do.
want, John. You can shit on me all you want. It's not going to
So
hurt me.
your standards apply to me and only me. Why am I
No, my
taking it
standards
as
apply
basic?
to everyone. I shit on everybody, John. You're
Then
one of
why
the few
aren't you-
people that tend to get offended by it, though.
Okay, then why aren't you shitting?
Because
No,
they
you don't
have
shit on
truth
everything.
in them. It
No, I do. I
rings
shit
with
on
the
people that
truth.
give me a reason to shit on them. I've shit on Thidrin. I've shit on Azu so bad that fucking he hadn't talked to me in months. I shit on
Azu
you
can
all
kick
the
you out
time. I shit on all my friends.
I give Azu more respect because he can kick you out any time, and no one would fault him
And
for
that's
doing it considering
fine.
how
I'm not
rude
gonna
you
kick him out. I'm not gonna kick him out.
Yeah, like, look, if he
not?
wants to kick me or not, that's fine. I don't mind. It's not a big deal. But look, all I'm saying is, like, you always seem to say, like, oh, well, it's the thing. You used my own argument earlier, which I found was hilarious. The one we had in the recorded conversation that wasn't streamed.
You
Whenever.
can learn.
Oh no, he's good at it. And I've said it many times, John. You're intelligent, and you've got a lot of passion. You've got a lot of drive. If you actually put that towards something worth a damn, you could do good. But as it stands, you've done jack shit. You've done nothing but stir up drama and pull attention to yourself, and that's
What
fine.
does this have to do with the
If
stream?
that's what-
What does that have to do with the stream?
No,
What does this have to
John,
do-
I
what
saw an
idiot does
opportunity
that have
to
do with the
come
stream?
in here and put you in your fucking place again, which is what I
No,
did.
So why?
What I told you whenever we had that conversation at the
Hold
end
on,
of it,
hold on.
if
I'm
you don't
asking you
straighten
what-
up and flight right, what did I tell you I was going to do?
You-
What did I tell you I was going to do at the end of that conversation?
Or not.
We don't have to disclose what the entire end of the conversation entailed, but what did I tell you?
You told me that basically you keep on coming after me, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to keep putting you in your fucking place until you straighten up and fly right.
You have to do better then.
Yeah? I mean, I can do
Yes.
better, John. I can certainly do better.
Then
If you
why
really
don't you
want
do
me
better?
to. But
Here's
John,
the thing, though.
look,
Why don't
I'm
you
doing this because I
instead
see
of
something
focusing on me?
that is very useful in you. You could be a very useful asset. You are
Very
an
much so.
Yeah,
In fact,
you
we're in the
know how
top.
to write.
You don't
Azu-
know everything you don't know everything he's done. Now I'm not.
Actually,
No,
yeah,
I'm not.
actually,
No, I
kinda
know.
do.
I know quite
You
a bit
wanna-
more than most people do about John Kelly. Now, it's been, and I will
You
admit
know-
to being
you know-
a full-on
hold on.
fucking
Do
autist
you know
about
about his
John.
contribution to Rip Twitter?
I don't fucking care, man.
You're arguing. No,
you're
arguing
pulling.
about-
Dude,
you're arguing
you're
about
pulling an
what he's
argument
done
in your
nothing.
direction whenever it has nothing to do with you at this point. And I understand that you're running the stream, but the argument is not about you. So leave this between John and I.
Fine, go ahead.
All
It's
right,
his
um,
stream. He can
So
decide
no,
the rules.
yeah, okay, John,
No,
and I
go ahead,
understand
go
you don't
ahead.
want me to go after you, and now Azu says I can. So there we
No,
go.
you can do
Look,
what you want. I don't care.
look,
You guys-
John, I see that you have obvious talents. You have the ability to be something that could do actual good and could provide real change. But instead of focusing on things that could actually do real change without creating massive amounts of drama, you instead decide to start stretching truth and using half-truth and bullshit and pulling shit out of your ass and fucking saying things that are not even really provable, even in the context that you try to wrap around them, in order to get attention. You've fucking avoided
People
your
invited
own
me to the
life.
stream.
No,
People
they
invited me to the stream and told me to get on here and kept on saying get on here because we want you in here. Multiple
Mhm.
people, not just Satan.
That's because
And
we were
I decided
having a
to-
2
That has
hour long
nothing to do
argument
with
on
what I'm
Twitter.
saying,
You said you
John.
wanted to take it to voice.
That has jack shit
Yeah.
to do with what I'm saying.
Traffic
No, I-
program installed
what-
that you use.
John, you have done nothing to improve your own life. You have done nothing to improve anything you're involved in. You've done nothing but drag both of them down. You yourself have told me that you know that because you have linked your name to all this, there's a very high chance you'll never be employable in a very professional setting again. Now, this all comes from the fact that you behave and you do things in the way that you do. You have a chance to turn this around. You have a chance to do something with your fucking life. But instead of bothering, like you said you would, and going into your real life and taking care of things like getting a job and finding a fucking education, sorry, the other way around, getting an education and finding a fucking job, you instead decide to stay on Twitter, Satan, leave it. You decide to stay on Twitter, shit everywhere, and go on with the same bullshit, John. I'm saying this because I want to see you actually better yourself. I want to see you actually do something, not be a complete piece of shit that does nothing but stir drama. This whole fucking bullshit that you've been in the past few months has done nothing. It's gone nowhere. All it's done is create a bunch of drama and make a lot of cows. That's it.
Wouldn't you want that, though? It's funny.
No, absolutely. It's fun. It's entertaining. But the problem is, there's this duality of the situation. One, it's hilarious. I get great entertainment in watching you guys completely spurred the fuck out about nonsensical bullshit. However,
nonsensical to you.
However, no, and by all means, yes, in my opinion, sure. However, at the same time, I see somebody who does have a very real chance, if they apply themselves with the amount of passion and fucking intelligence that you have, John, you could very well do great things. But instead of using that passion and intelligence to do something worth a damn, you decide to shitpost on fucking Twitter and drum up drama. Do you not see a problem here? Do you not realize why you're so lonely you have to sit on the internet arguing all night is because you waste all this and people are irritated with you because they see. The people who know you in real life, the reason they're so irritated with you and the reason that you fucking run to the internet to fucking socialize instead of real life is because they see that you have potential and yet you squander it on dumb shit, John.
That's all of Gamergate, really.
Yeah, no, it is. It absolutely is. It's the vast majority of them. That's fine. But, John, you are above and beyond most. You have more ability than I would say about 90%, 95% of Gamergate. Easily. More ability than any person in this fucking hangout. Myself included. But here's the problem. You squander that ability on bullshit. You're above all of this, John. All of it. And yet you lead yourself right down this fucking path.
That's a pretty heavy weight you're putting on my shoulders there.
Yeah. Welcome to the fucking world. That's the weight of your future, John. Do you want to be employable, or do you want to continue down this fucking path and be a useless piece of shit the rest of your life? I mean, look.
Your argument completely falls apart,
both.
Beardbo, if you consider that he's doing it on purpose, specifically to detract from the valid arguments that are being made.
Well, see, here's the thing, Satan. While you have that standpoint, I don't believe that at all. Honestly, I believe that he's somebody. Well, no, really. I think that he is a tool of somebody who is doing that. Sure.
Oh yes. That is also likely. I did not know.
No.
If anything,
I think, yeah, and that's the most of it. Like, look here. The thing is, I'm not saying that for some reason. I know from how well I know John. I know that he's not a flat out chill. We've had a lot of conversations, and we used to work together quite well. Back in the days when John was actually doing something that was actually great for Gamergate, when he was participating in the fucking OP Game It Forward shit that Shrek and myself, John, and a few other people put together.
I still don't agree with that, but whatever.
Whatever. But here's the thing. Like, I think that John has been misled, and I think that John has taken information from people that see how useful he is, that see how much of ability he has, even above their own. People who have motives, people who want to see certain things happen, and like any fucking trolling group would, fill that information, feed it into a useful idiot. And John, sadly, is not an idiot. However, he's not sad that he's not an idiot. But sadly, even though John is not an idiot, he seems to get roped into this. I think that, if anything of what you're saying is true, Satan, it's that. But That's speculation. That's all fucking tinfoil hattery on my part. I don't care about any of that. All I care about is the fact that, John, you do have real ability. You have the ability to make change, and if you really do want to change the landscape of video games, you absolutely can. If you buckle down, fly right, and fucking get an education, fucking do things right, and start focusing on targets that are worth a damn. Dude, you're not going to accomplish anything by getting a fucking who you think is a pedophile fucking
I mean, I could see it if you were
fired.
at least on somebody who had actually done work on the game.
There.
She did do work on the game.
No, Azu, just
Bullshit.
leave it. It's very
In her
minimal,
own
if
words,
anything.
She did do
But
work
look,
on the
okay,
game.
okay, so
Oh,
you're
shit,
saying...
She did not translate a single line of text in that game.
But learn-
She did not in any
get
way
a word
contribute
in
to the
edgewise.
failure of that
Fucking
game.
faggots.
One at a time. Firstly,
Alright.
Azu is correct. She did help work on various
Very
games.
small
To what
amount,
extent-
and it's... Dude,
to
you're
what
picking the
extent-
wrong targets, John. This is what I'm saying. If you would just pick targets that were worth a damn and you would not fucking try to stretch the truth, you would
Who
do
do you
real
wanna
digging
go-
and
who?
actual stuff.
Who?
Huh?
I want names.
Well, certainly. Look, I don't
Yeah,
have to
I
tell
want
you what
names.
targets,
I want
but
to know.
certainly.
I want to know how much work Allison Rapp actually did on a video game.
But
Just
certainly
try-
somebody other than somebody who had very minimal fucking work to do with something who is an easy target because they're an SGW. John,
The work she
you have the
probably did was
ability.
fucking selling the game to Toys R Us.
You have the ability and the intelligence to take somebody down who would be a paragon, who is a paragon of the community. However, you choose to take on easy targets and people who really have no impact. Because, like, look, think of it this way. If Allison Rapp gets fired, what does that accomplish?
Nothing.
Jack shit, John.
And we've already
Nothing
established
happens.
earlier in the stream you have at best roughly a 50-50 chance of even accomplishing that. Never mind the other, 10, 15, 20 people at Treehouse.
And that's the thing. Like, why not go after Treehouse? Why not dig up some
That's
information on Tree? No, that's not going after Treehouse, John. That's like saying we fucking went after Goebbels, so we took down Hitler. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Are you familiar with Solinsky's rule number 12?
I don't fucking dig into the fucking rules for radicals bullshit. I've read it when I was like fucking 19. I don't remember that shit.
That's fine. But you know what rule number 12 is?
No, like I said, I don't remember that shit.
Isolate the target, personalize it, and bleed it out.
Yeah, but she's not the target.
The
You should be
target isn't
focusing
Allison
on.
Rapp. The target is Treehouse because they
Yeah.
released a shitty game. Or the
That's what
target
I'm-
is
no, that's what I'm
Nintendo for
saying, John.
subcontracting out
And
to an
fucking
incompetent
conquer
subcontractor.
you.
It's like you're going after a fucking military unit and you're targeting the privates when you should be going after the commanders, John. Or you should be trying to rope the whole fucking unit into an ambush. Like, you're choosing horrible targets with maximum fucking firepower.
And
You're
maximum
wasting all your
defense.
ammo. Yeah.
Look at this shit. It's a fucking woman in games who doesn't even work on coding or translating video games in
Yeah.
any way. They can so easily point at this woman
Okay,
and say,
fine.
look at all these Gamergate nerds harassing women. No PR!
That's a PR argument. We don't need to go into why PR
I
is
don't
bullshit.
give a shit about
It's not a
Gamergate.
PR argument.
I don't-
It's a
here's the
choice
thing,
of
too.
targets argument.
Like,
This
I
isn't a person
largely
who works on video games.
No,
I largely
Guillermo is
left the
actually on
whole-
point.
no, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're
found
right. Claim to
proof
work
that she
on
did
video
work
games.
on. I found proof she worked on the game, and you're all going to look at it.
Fine. Okay. Sure.
There you
Link
go.
is at the
I'll take a
archive
look.
there. Let's see.
Uh,
Oh well, she wrote one line that we have verified. Okay. So once again, doesn't matter. Taking
Now,
out
this-
one
this
of the
is-
herd
this is ammunition.
does
Hang on a
nothing.
This tweet right here is proof that Treehouse puts their PR people on video games and has them write lines.
Ding, ding, ding. There you go.
Now, instead
There
of
you go.
focusing on it,
But
what
instead of
Allison
focusing on that,
is saying about pedophiles on Twitter, you could easily use this tweet to point out the fact that Treehouse is incompetent and it finds the wrong types of employees to work on different things. That's not being done.
And John, this is why I say you should get an education. Because if you got an education in journalism, which I honestly think you should get an
I
education in
don't think
journalism.
that's a good idea.
Well, whatever. No, I mean, that's you. This is me. If you got an education in journalism, John, you would realize the power of picking the right targets, and you would realize that, like, if you're going into investigative journalism like this, and if you're doing things that are meant to be investigative journalism, you are completely squandering your ability by attacking one small fry
You're
instead
right.
of going
There
after
shouldn't-
the thing.
shouldn't. No, you're actually on point here. You shouldn't just target one. You shouldn't just target one person's proprietors. You should actually go after all of them. And I agree with that. One avenue.
So why did you
of
focus on this one person? Why did you decide to make this shit show that's gonna accomplish nothing, even if she does get fired? Why did you waste all that time?
You wanna know why I waste time with people like this?
Yeah.
It's because I still have to drill this out of me, but
you're
gonna
do.
Yeah, the problem is I pay attention too much to people drumming up noise in opposition to what I do instead of just moving forward, to be honest.
But John, it's because you do that yourself. That's all you do is drum up noise in opposition. That's your modus operandi.
In a way, yes.
No, not in a way. That is your modus operandi. Or operandi.
No,
I can't speak. No, it is, John. You stir shit. You poke the hornet's nest.
That's one thing I do.
Really? What are the last 5 articles you've written?
I've written articles. Let's see.
No. The last 5. Just what are the last 5?
There was one Allison Rap.
Okay.
There was one on the Steam. The Steam security leak breakdown.
December Sea Lions. Gamergate pundit revealed to be a PR industry shill. Nintendo's public relations employee Allison Rapp now vocal for pedophiles.
Hey, on that
breach. Steam compromises users, breaks privacy policy, media spin in effect.
Yep.
Satan, why are
That's
we
a decent one.
That was a decent one, yeah.
Can we talk a bit about that one on the Sea Lion one?
Sea Lion one or the Steam one?
No, the Sea Lion one. The one about, I think it was Gaming and Panda.
Oh God,
I haven't read this one yet, so I'm gonna have to read this real quick.
That one was funny as fuck. All right, look. And that's another choosing a bad target, John, because here once again, this is why people think you are an oppositional force, is because you are attacking people who are I don't care, Azu. You're attacking people who are big and very followed, and you're going after people like Gaming and Pandas who actually do care about this issue instead of focusing on the targets that should be. And that's why people think you're an oppositional force, John. Because you don't have any control as to who you fucking attack, it seems.
I think Satan is trying to say something.
No, he's just saying that's what he's been saying the whole time.
No. I think that this Gaming and Panda shit is the same thing that I'm doing to John Kelly, except that he's doing it to Gaming and Pandas. I'm pretty sure that this one is on point, and you're barking up the wrong tree with this particular article.
Oh, really?
Gaming and Pandas is a member of the gaming press. He should be held to the same standard as Kotaku, as Polygon, as all.
No, he was a member of the gaming press. Does he really even? Do they do articles anymore? No, there's no. Once you're no longer have fucking platform, no longer a member of the press.
Hold on.
Videos.
I just don't agree with the types of arguments that Lo Ping makes, and I would not be very surprised at all to find that he has some alternative motives for the arguments that he makes. The same way that I'm accusing John Kelly of right now. And this seems to be what this article is about.
Go look at his older YouTube content and compare it with the sort of things he says now, and it's not all the same.
Yeah. Also, about Gaming Pants being the gaming press, he has not done a lot of work lately. That doesn't mean that he's necessarily hanging up the journalistic towel.
It's kind of like, okay,
it's kind of like he's kind of like in this
gray
Nick
area. Denton press once Gawker implodes and he's no longer writing or has anything? Would you consider like Patrick Klepek press after he gets fired from Kotaku and nobody picks him up? Would he still be press?
The site's still up, though.
Hold on, no.
I'm saying,
but he's still creating content.
Hold on, there's no reason.
Video how long ago? Come on.
Yes,
no, that's what I'm asking. If he is, then by all means. If he is, then because I haven't seen anything from him.
I'll get it for you.
Okay, I'll trust you on that. That's fine.
One point at a time, because there's a lot of questions here. I'm trying to answer them all. Okay, so on the journalistic thing, just to be clear, the way I define a journalist is by function, not by a title, because when you get down to it, and this is an issue that I've talked with other people about, I think we've even had this conversation before.
That's YouTube.
You know, like,
whatever.
YouTube is also a kind of like, here's the thing. The SPJ considers an act of journalism makes you a journalist. So if you do provide journalistic service, you're a journalist. So if you relay information about current events, you qualify. That's the definition that I actually.
So you're a journalist.
By that definition,
if you're going to call him a journalist, you're a journalist yourself, John. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good example of a bad argument to focus on.
Yeah, no, it is.
Just admit defeat here and move on to the next.
Well, of course,
thing,
he took it from me.
which is that Gaming and Pandas has a personal relationship with a PR agent in the WWF, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And appears to have pushed the Sea Lion thing as part of whatever work he had with the WWF. Now, I mean, I don't know what the validity of that argument is, but I wouldn't mind hearing a response.
I think there was a response. I mean, there's fucking hours and hours of Spurg between him and John. You can go read through. There's plenty of response there, trust me. But look, we're getting past my original point here, John. Is the fact that yes, you may have a couple good pieces. You may have a couple.
Took two issues of the article that I actually had to concede the point on. The first was that he was a Muslim. That I wasn't able to substantiate that Jamal actually is a Muslim. So I have to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I corrected that part. While there are apparently 2 Muslim people in there, apparently he's a Maronite Catholic, so it was just easier for me to admit that I fucked up with that and just took it out. The second
John, that's
issue
what I'm saying about it, is you tend to jump into like things that you haven't been able to verify and espouse them as truth.
Why did you call him a Muslim in the first place?
Context.
No, an attack on his character, because
it provides context to his background, to who he is, and
so it's also meaning you did mean to attack his character. Okay, good to hear. At least you admit it.
The point is, that was something that I had gotten wrong, and I clarified the article to get it done. That he demanded a formal retraction, which is bullshit, but that's besides the point. The other issue took with a connection with Milo Yiannopoulos was actually incorrect. That was just that was me being an idiot and making a mistake there. I also corrected that as well. Everything else, though, he has not taken issue with.
But here's the thing, John. Why waste all this time going after targets? Even him, like, I understand it's a cool little thing, and if it's true, then by all means. But like, why waste the time and effort on that when that does nothing? That really doesn't accomplish anything. What you need to focus on is actual like hard targets that would improve things. Because even if he's taken out, like what? We take out one guy who shitposts instead of you taking out somebody who actually has power in these companies that are fucking actually creating the problem that led to Gamergate. That's what I'm saying, John. If you really,
I actually think that you're right that I should be going after. I actually think that I should be doing more works of. I should be putting out more content.
And make sure you can vet your sources correctly and get all your information right so you don't have to post those retractions. That's the thing, John. And like, while the fact that you posted the retraction isn't as important, because look, you know as well as I do, the vast, vast majority of people that read an article never read a retraction. And that's only to save your own ass. So do it right the first time.
You can't have that luxury, unfortunately. That's limitations of human perception.
What do you? No, you can definitely. Here's the thing: don't try to rush out an article. Spend your time and make sure that you can prove 100% everything you say. That's not an impossible thing to do.
That would require unlimited knowledge on any particular issue, and you can't have unlimited knowledge on any particular issue.
Well, I'm not saying without a 100% shadow of a doubt, but you better damn have some good evidence of it. Like, that's what I'm saying. The claim of him being a Muslim, there was like no evidence of that. That was just
that's not true.
Who cares?
That's not true. That's not true, because he said multiple times this account was run by a Muslim. He also said there was also 2 people working on the account that were Muslims, and why does
Jamal's religion matter in this situation?
No, that's oh God, I don't give a shit about the faggot panda.
Why bring it up?
I'm bringing it up because I'm pointing out the weaknesses in his article.
I asked you to bring up the faggot panda, but why does it matter?
It's perfectly fine to point out the weaknesses of the articles.
Yeah,
I don't think
and that's what I'm saying. Like, instead of like, I'm just saying for your own good, for the betterment of your work, John. If you consider that your work, then by all means, because that's
you realize that there are even more errors in like IA's.
That's fine. And look, this is once again, you're trying to say that, like, because I'm going after him about that. No, yeah, I'm demanding it for him because I know he can do better.
You're demanding perfection. Like,
yeah, because John is fucking capable of putting out damn good fucking articles if he wants that could have a real impact. What I'm saying is he should take more pride in his own work. He should go after targets that are worth going after instead of fucking farting around. Dude, I'm barely in Gamergate anyways, but I could tell you right now that Low Ping and Allison Rapp aren't strong targets.
Treehouse.
No,
Treehouse.
Allison Rapp works for Treehouse, so that kind of ties into it. I do agree, though, that more digging can be done to Treehouse. In particular, here's something that people aren't really paying attention to.
For Christ's sakes, go after Riot.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, Riot... Riot's a piece of shit.
I don't know where to start with Riot.
There's no way.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't waste your time on them.
Or what the guys that are making that stupid space game that they've wasted like $4.7 billion on or whatever. Who cares? But like that's what I'm saying. Like choose targets that will actually help shape the fucking landscape you want to see. Instead, like you have the ability. You're like the guy with an entire construction company behind him with your ability, and instead of like raising the ground and fucking building a metropolis, you're planting fucking seedlings. It does nothing.
Can I ask you, have you checked out the Think Serious videos?
The what?
The Think Serious videos.
No, like I said, I'm pretty much out of Gamergate at this point. If it has something to do with Gamergate.
Their thing. It was an InfoWars kind of thing.
Oh, InfoWars is not really my stuff for the most part. I'll watch some of what's his name.
I'll actually give you a limitation of Think Serious videos. The Think Serious videos would be useful for people like me and people who are like on poll all day doing kind of similar bullshit. But it's for like the general public. The Think Serious videos are kind of like it's kind of like you get like a sampling of what's actually there, but you don't get the full thing. So you actually have to go through and dig deeper in order to get more understanding.
I think that you're missing the point entirely, Beardmo. I think that the main issue with John Kelly is that when he is wrong, he does not reconsider his argument.
Oh, well, no, yeah. he can, and he has once or twice, but no, John, you do have serious problems.
I think you have serious problems when it doesn't come from someone you respect, because I think that if you were to go back and rewatch the first 10 minutes of that argument that you had with Grey Knight, and you really open your mind and think critically,
the argument that I was
agree that you fucked up.
No, I won't agree with that.
Yeah, you will, dude.
No.
You talked over him for 10 minutes when he was making valid points.
He wasn't making valid points.
He was.
He didn't even read his sources.
First 10.
He didn't even read his sources. And you also said that I called Allison Rapp a pedophile, and I never called Allison Rapp a pedophile.
You've been heavily implying it, and if she isn't a pedophile, I don't see what your problem with her is.
Other people have been, but I have not. And there's a very good reason why
I know exactly what you were doing, and I'm not going to sit here and listen to you fucking patronize me. You were painting Allison Rapp to be a pedophile to try to get her fired from her job because you think that this will help you tank Nintendo Treehouse for making a bad video game.
I never said that.
And I'm here to
never
tell
said
you
that.
that's
you
not
can
going
look in
to
the streams, you can look in the tweets. I even went out of my way to state that I'm not accusing her of being a pedophile, period.
This is the kind of shit that I'm talking about. You don't even fucking listen.
Okay, look, if you can find me evidence that she... Here's the thing. If you can find me evidence that Allison Rapp is a pedophile, I'd publish that. But there's no evidence to suggest that.
It would make your day. Because the thing that you like the most is you get an easy target who says things that can be easily politically manipulated by you to paint them as a bad person.
John, all I'm saying is...
And it's lazy, and it's not helping anybody.
All right, Shane. All right.
And you need to help yourself before you try to help anyone else, John. Really, seriously, you need to get your life in order. No buts. He needs to get his fucking life in order. Like, John, you do. You've got to get your shit straight. Because before you're going to be able to be worth a damn and be able to produce anything worth a damn, you're going to have to be able to take care of yourself. You're going to have to be able to, like, actually... Like, you're not going to be able to help anybody else if you can't help yourself, John, and all you're doing is hurting yourself.
I question why any of you give a shit about John Kelly to begin with.
Because I don't know. Saying annoying shit on Twitter.
It's like...
Well,
I've said it many times. I've said it numerous times. The reason that I fucking focus on John is because I see that he has very real potential. He has the ability, unlike any other of you, to go way farther than any of you ever could.
It's just because he doesn't have a job and he has a lot of free time to spend on this bullshit.
Hey, I got an idea.
He's got more passion and drive.
Maybe he has done these things, but you don't know about it. I
Well,
certainly
obviously,
know about one.
Obviously, if I don't know about it and it's not in the fucking eye of
You
the
didn't know
people.
about Think Serious? That was on InfoWars.
All right, so he had one thing, but that's the thing. He's still focusing on this little piddle bullshit.
That to clarify
This
that
Allison
was
How long
Rap
ago
And
was
there
the
we go.
Allison
He
Rap?
even said that it wasn't.
How long ago
the
was the
Think
Allison
Serious
Rap
was-
thing?
Wait,
And
that
why
was
is
an
it
important
still-
statement that was made. What is
and
the
what-
Think Serious thing that was on InfoWars?
That was, okay, to explain what Think Serious was, it was a series of videos which shows a whole bunch of ties connections with a whole bunch of these motherfuckers that are basically making the gaming industry a complete hellhole and pushing edtech.
And it was shown on InfoWars, like Alex Jones did a segment on it?
Yeah.
Not Alex Jones.
It wasn't Alex Jones. It was Paul Joseph Watson. Thidrin was there. Thidrin will tell you himself that he was a nervous wreck on that stream. But yeah, it was showcased on InfoWars. So that's basically what Think Serious was.
Thidrin
It's
was on
basically,
InfoWars and I didn't hear about it?
yeah, he was.
Gee.
It's almost
There's a-
as if you're not paying attention to anything.
Yeah, have either of you watched the videos that I've been doing with QQ?
Those are good videos, by the way. Like
You know-
Dan and QQ do some really damn good work, by the way. Like seriously. Like,
You know,
Is
if-
Thidrin still
You
around?
do
if
so
I-
much better than
if
them.
I had
Pedro,
any
you here?
real observation, it would be physician heal thyself. Because
Let me
you
see
talk
if
about
Pedro-
trying to do shit, and yet they're doing all this shit, and you don't seem to be aware of any of it.
No, look, he's not doing
So
it.
I see 43 videos here from Thidrin about Think Serious. Where was this mentioned on InfoWars?
I'd have to get the exact link, but I can
I
say
do, yeah.
yes, it was there.
I'll
poke him.
I'll poke him
I'll
too.
poke him. I think he fell asleep, to be honest.
Oh,
But John, your white knights aside, you know what I'm talking about, and we've had this conversation more than a couple times. You
And
yourself have
no,
admitted that you've led yourself
you know-
down a path that's doing nothing but hurting yourself.
And you made some very valid points, and I've been taking that to heart.
You know what's not a valid point?
I have been taking that to heart.
You know what's
The
not
thing
a
is, though,
valid
it's
point,
like-
though, John Kelly? Is when I'm making a valid point on Twitter and you respond with spam saying, "Oh, stop smoking weed."
Because what you're saying is dumb, and I don't really have another way of putting it to you.
Let me find out what exactly I said on Twitter that you responded with "stop smoking weed."
Treating Twitter as anything other than shit posting central. You're doing
There
it
you go.
wrong, fam.
maybe I should
I
move
mean-
to Tumblr.
Oh God, no! Please do not do that. Tumblr is just like Twitter has problems, but Tumblr's just shit.
It's less awful than Twitter.
I don't agree. Let's talk about something else. Can we talk about something else at this point?
It's not. Let's
I'm really
keep talking
tired.
about you.
I'm still, I'm only here to talk about you, John.
All
Well,
right. Well,
then,
you want to talk about something else I've been looking into?
Sure.
Okay. Did you ever hear of a little project called Elysium Shadows?
What's up, goobers?
Hey,
Oh, hey,
Thidrin,
Thidrin.
how's it going? Could you tell us a little bit more about the work that you did on Think Serious and what John Kelly had to do with that?
John Kelly helped a little bit with citations.
That's about it.
Yeah.
To clarify, the Anon thing I was talking about was nothing serious. I apologize.
Oh, okay. So this was
not.
actually just
Yes.
something that Thidrin did,
Yes.
that John Kelly did not help with.
Hedron
he helped.
and other people.
And that's what I'm saying, John. Instead of focusing your
Represented
time
as
doing like small
SEAL
amounts
team
of help
sets.
for other people, you could be doing things that were above and beyond what any of these people could accomplish, and you could actually make real change, unlike most of the people that have anything to do with Gamergate.
Okay, how do we?
And instead,
how do we
you're
stop?
wasting.
you can do X, you can do Y, and I know all this. Well, then, why don't you lay out the roadmap?
I want to stop government. I want to stop government grants for. I want to stop these 2-bit hacks from getting government grants. How do we stop that?
You can't.
Well, you can't really do that without changing legislation.
Actually, you can by sucking it up yourself. Disabling their ability to get
I mean,
from-
Dude,
you
could,
could, but you would also have to.
Get
you
some
would-
game devs together, tell them to apply for fucking grants and start sucking that grant money dry. Eventually, they're going to have to compete in order to get it.
Yeah, but that's gonna be a hell of a lot harder, and like that's one of those just
Anything
unsolvable
worth
things.
a
Like,
damn is going to take hard work at this point. If you're not willing to do that,
yes,
get the
but
fuck off the bus.
oh my
Hey,
god,
Nicholas.
dude, you are the most
Nicholas,
autistic.
Oh,
Anyways,
shit.
I missed a whole bunch of fun stuff.
Yeah, so
I was
Yeah,
the
you
gonna
did.
claim
something
was
actually
made
with you.
that John Kelly did a lot of work on the Think Serious stuff, and it was featured on
That was not the claim
InfoWars,
I made.
and that was one of the significant accomplishments that John Kelly
Blah,
got.
blah, blah.
Gamergate.
Just don't
You
listen to the...
misunderstood. Okay, I apologize for the confusion.
Hold
Yeah,
on a minute.
well,
Let's-
it's easy
wait,
to get
one second,
confused
Templar,
when these
Templar, one
two
second.
don't shut up.
Templar, 1 second.
Jim,
Hey,
the only
Nicholas.
thing you've done the entire
Nicholas.
time is, or whoever the hell is saying that, is seriously White Knight with, while not giving any bit of information that could move the conversation forward. So until you have something to say that actually has something to move the conversation forward, just leave it.
How about I'll say whatever the fuck I want, whenever I want.
I mean,
and
sure, if
can
you want to be a
leave.
child, that's fine.
Oh,
Go ahead,
here we
John.
go. I'm the enlightened adult argument. I'm just loving this one. Because that's really all that this stream has been for the past 2 or so hours.
Let's
Okay, if I'm
let
gonna be
Jason
honest-
talk for a little while. Let's let Jason air his
I
opinion.
have got nothing on this because I don't even know what the fuck the original argument was at this
That's
point.
why we're not talking to you, and why every time you speak up, it's an interruption.
Exactly my point.
Whatever.
I was just peeking
Oh.
in because I was taking some time to wash dishes because y'all were going on about Allison Rap so damn long.
Yeah,
That's why I
that
came
did
in
run
here
on
in
way
the
too
first
long
place.
because the whole Allison Rap thing is dumb anyways. It's a bad target. It's a
How
soft.
long, how long ago
Nah,
was
it's a valid target. It's just one that you choose not to go after.
Well,
And that
no,
is your choice.
no. The whole
You
point
can
is
scream
instead of
a bad
focusing on
target,
her-
or you shouldn't do that. But guess what? You don't get to choose what I do.
Well, your
I don't get to
arguments
choose
are
what you
shit.
do.
When I hear about stuff like, oh, this person is defending pedophiles, that doesn't strike you as perhaps...
Look,
the-
actually-
And that's a straw man itself. I
Position
said
to
she's
do.
fucking incompetent at her job, which she is. And it's demonstrated.
Her job doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
But
but
it
like
does
if you get her
matter.
fired, okay, let me
No,
ask you
it
this,
fucking
Fedrin.
doesn't. She's a
Fedrin.
PR agent for a translation company.
Fedrin. If
She's
she's
a PR
fired, what
agent
does
for
that
a
accomplish?
localization company. You
Yes.
thinking that
Fedrin.
localization equals translation demonstrates your ignorance on the matter of localization to begin with.
I
Fedrin.
fucking localize manga, okay, dude?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
you sure
I
do.
fucking
And you know
translate
what?
Japanese
And
into
you know
English.
what,
So
asshole?
don't you fucking
You know
tell
what,
me
asshole?
what localization
Manga is not
is.
video games, now is it?
The
It's a
PR
significantly
agent
different
doesn't
beast.
have any fucking thing to do with
Fine,
localization.
fine.
Yes, it sure does, because
Except
it
for the
ends up
one line in the
demonstrating
menu
the
that she
limitations, not just menu, it also has to do with the amount of sentences and whatnot you can put in. Only very, very, very recently has it been expanded to the point where they generally do not have much of an issue with regards to translation, because the Japanese
Look,
devs have
Fedrin,
been
what
kind
the
enough to
problems
tell
are with
them.
Fire Emblem Fates are not localization decisions, they are translation errors, and it
Not
is
only are they
really
translation errors, they're also shitty localization decisions. Which is
There
why
really
I'm
kind of
talking
aren't
to you at
many
this
shitty
point.
localization
You don't know what the
decisions,
fuck you're even
Fedrin.
talking about.
There aren't
Hold
many
on.
shitty localization
All right, hold on,
decisions.
hold on. Dan,
First to pull the betting
What is the
minigame
difference
was a
between
localization
translation
decision.
and
That
localization? at the end
translation
of the
was
day?
not.
There's
What
a
is
huge
the
I'm
difference.
going
There's a huge difference.
to say that someone who has a strong presence moderate this, and I
Okay,
say
I'm
we
sorry.
pick one person
I'll
to
do
do
it.
that.
I will moderate this
No,
thing.
hold on. If you keep talking over each other, I'm going to start muting. Okay?
Okay, fine. But I have one quick question for you, Thedrin. Look, this is why I say she's a soft target. If Allison Rapp is fired, what does that accomplish?
It chips away at one of the many companies that I want to
Okay,
deal
no,
with.
it chips away, but why not instead go after the entire fucking treehouse as a whole?
Why focus
why do
on
you
the
think
flanks
those-
just
No.
to charge the
Why do
center
you
of
think-
the battle
Why
line?
don't you go after Nintendo itself? That's
I couldn't
one
hear
angle
you
into that.
over a retard.
My counter is this. Why don't you go after Nintendo itself?
By all means. That's what I'm saying.
I'm
You guys
already
are going
doing
after...
this. Okay, you
got-
haven't seen the Allison Rap video, have you?
I don't watch your videos, no.
Okay, I'm going to show you why she's not a completely shit target. Alright? 1 minute video. Watch. In fact, you could watch the first 5 to 10 seconds and you'll see why.
Sure. Give me a second here.
Oh, this is fun.
We're here with a member of the Nintendo Treehouse. So actually, she's not being presented as a core Nintendo employee here. She's been specifically represented as
Keep
a
watching.
Treehouse
And
gamer.
look at the bottom of the screen. How is she represented on the bottom of the screen?
The kid says that she is from Treehouse, specifically.
I repeat, who is represented as
Because
what?
it says Nintendo. Is that your entire
She's a
argument?
subcontractor.
Of course she's a subcontractor of Nintendo. That's like a given. But she works for
Oh,
Nintendo.
wait, no, so she's a
She works for
subcontractor as
Treehouse.
well. Oh god, you realize that subcontractors have zero impact on the actual company itself then, right?
And you're
Like,
mistaken.
zero
For a
legal
simple
impact?
reason. Zero legal impact, but that does mean shit. Because
So you're more
she
about
is
hearts and
representing
minds.
Nintendo.
So you're focusing on hearts and minds, not legal.
Why would I focus on legal in this particular instance? She has done nothing illegal.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just stating the obvious. She has done zero illegal. She's done plenty of retarded shit. Don't get that twisted.
So what's your problem with Treehouse? Is it that they have a pedophile employee, or is it that they release shitty
No one-
games?
Yeah, because
I
that,
personally
no
don't
one
give a shit how many
cares.
pedophiles work at the localization
Stop.
company
Why not
for
both?
Nintendo. If they release quality product,
they don't.
they don't
don't.
release quality
But-
product. That's
yeah.
the problem. And saying that their PR
You
agent
say that it
is
is the
poorly
only
representing
problem.
the
I could
parent
have as many
company is
problems as I
completely
want as a
ridiculous.
consumer.
It does not
Just
help in
better
any
not.
way.
I could end up saying why I don't like them for any reason, right?
well,
So you trying to say that I
You're
can't
saying
have
that the
them-
PR representative for the subcontractor is poorly
Is a-
representing the parent company.
There you go.
This in no way
But-
relates to the quality of any video game, and it makes
Exactly.
everybody who
Actually,
hears
it
your
does.
bullshit
Want to know how?
question
Want to know
your
how, dumbass?
bullshit.
Want to know how, dumbass? I've actually got a case study on this one. A game called Blessed Wolves. Okay? This particular grouping has a really nice little game. But you know what they're fucking up? The marketing. My favorite was a particular little article that this
That would
genius...
be really nice to focus on this Blessed World game and the people who work on that, because the marketing is fucking up the game. You know what the marketing team didn't fuck up? Fire Emblem Fates.
Actually, she is fucking it up.
how?
Because the sales targets are only barely making what their projections are.
The sales targets for Fire Emblem Fates sold. Well, that fucking game sold over 300,000 copies in the first week in the United States.
Yeah, 300,000 copies over 3 iterations. Genius.
3 iterations of what? What are you talking about? Fire Emblem IF.
Fire Emblem
translated
Birthright,
in
Fire
the
Emblem
United
Conquest,
States
as well as the
Fire
DLC
Emblem
known as
Fates.
Invisible Kingdom. You don't even know what the fuck's in it.
It sold fucking 300,000 copies in the opening weekend, and it was 2
Yeah,
games,
of
not
the
3.
conglomeration of
Hold
all
on.
3.
Hold on,
Adrian,
hold
you
on.
could make your arguments a lot clearer if you didn't get so angry. Just calm down. You'll be fine.
In other words,
Satan,
Alright.
you know how there are 2 different versions of Pokemon? Or no, 3, and
Yeah,
it's
there
the
are
same
3
thing,
different versions of
except you
Pokemon.
have-
Okay.
Yeah, except you have to buy all of them, basically, for
Have
Fire
to buy all of what?
That is-
if you wanted
There's-
the actual story.
Are you talking about Fire Emblem?
Yes!
Yes.
So
That's
Fire
how it's-
Emblem Fates, the black version and the white version, are completely separate games. And
Yes.
they are large enough to be separate games.
Yes!
And the decisions to do that, regardless, have nothing to do with marketing or PR. That's the way it was done in
Exactly.
Japan, and therefore has to be. Allison
That is the
Rapp is
reason.
not associated with that in any way.
That is the reason why it sold as many copies as it sold.
No. The
Wait.
previous version of Fire Emblem only sold 100,000 copies.
Because it
in
was
their
one
opening
version.
weekend. This
It was
sold
one version.
3 times that with
'Cause there are
2
3 games.
versions of the game.
Well, no, technically
If I
there are 2
can-
games
if I
and
can-
DLC.
Yes,
At
it
a time.
sold
If I can
more
interrupt Satan
entire
for a
games
second, there's
even
one. He's made a
corrected.
critical error. He's made a critical error in his.
Sorry. Oh, what the?
Oh, are we
Hey,
getting
I
on the
gotta
mute
leave.
bandwagon now?
No,
Really?
No, you people need an interruption so someone
Like,
can
what
get
do you
a point
mean,
in
you
it.
people? Are you a bigot? Come on now.
Hold on.
Yes,
hold on.
I am. Fuck
Templar, let me
Fuck
make
all
my
you
point.
people.
Let
Go
me make my
ahead.
point, and then let Satan
Go.
respond, and then you can make your point. Okay.
I have no
Satan,
point. I
you-
want them to shut up.
Oh well.
Well, that's constructive.
Yes,
Yeah.
more so than your crap. But anyway, John, go ahead with what you were saying.
I advertised the stream quite accurately. Anyway,
I don't even know what this is called.
I called it Sunday
I want
Night
to respond to
Bullshit
this fucking lie that Fire Emblem did not sell more than the prior game.
I didn't even say that, dumbass.
All
Yeah,
right.
you
Anyway,
said that Fire Emblem only sold 300,000 because there was three versions of the game.
Satan, what is Rap's official title
First off,
for?
there was only 2 versions of the
What is
game. Second
Rap's
off, it sold
official
3
title?
times as much as
Hey,
the prior
Satan,
game.
you're forgetting the digital-only version they sold
The
as
digital-only
well.
version was not available during the opening weekend.
Yeah, he
But
does have
now
a strong
it's the
point
opening
there.
weekend instead
I'm
of the
talking
week
about opening
as
weekend
quoted.
sales.
Then
Fire
you should have
Emblem Fates
clarified it.
sold 3 times the
did.
prior game.
He did clarify that, Thedrin.
He clarified it just now.
No, he said
No,
that
I fucking said it the entire damn
Said
time.
the
It's been like
week,
4
dumbass.
times.
He said
launch-
opening
Well,
when he
opening
first
weekend,
wrote the
clarified.
statistics.
opening weekend in game launches. So nice try backtracking.
Okay, it's been
Watch the
clarified.
fucking
There's no
stream.
reason-
If you listen instead of yelling, you would pick up a lot more.
If you would listen
Anyway.
and use your
Maybe
fucking
you should stop
head,
making
you'll
shitty
realize
arguments
that
full of
he
lies.
did not say that, and
He
he is
did.
now attempting to lie.
He
So tell
absolutely.
me,
He
tell
said
me
it now,
how
he did not
the
say it before.
marketing department
Go back on that. Go to the
negatively
YouTube
affected
video.
Fire
Oh, he
Emblem
did.
Fates.
He said initially, launch week. He didn't
Yeah,
say
he said the
opening
launch
weekend.
week.
Yeah, the
He
launch
didn't say
launch
week.
opening
Third
weekend.
version
Is
of
the
the
launch
game was
weekend
not
opening weekend,
available.
asshole? Is it? No, it's
The
not.
third version of the game was not available during the launch week.
Now you said
It
it's
did
launch
not
week.
exist.
Okay.
The game, yeah, the third version of the game didn't come out for a couple weeks afterwards. That's the whole point here, Thedrin. That's the whole point. That it definitely did sell better than the last ones because if you split 300,000 over 2, that's
I didn't say that
150,000.
it did not even
50% higher, even if you're going to discount it down to the fact that it was 2 separate games. Even those 2 separate games sold at a 50% higher rate than the other games did.
Okay, Dydrin, sorry.
That's fine.
Picking up.
Did you even listen to what I said while you disingenuously defended his jackass?
You don't have to
Because
yell.
I have listened to what
I
you
was stuck
said.
on that point.
Yes.
I needed to
said
clarify
it is
that.
barely meeting its sales projection because it barely had any fucking budget for the previous bit, let alone
It
this
beat
one.
its sales projections by 50%.
Nintendo's been missing sales projections on pretty much everything forever. That really doesn't say too much, to be honest. So what, Nintendo has continued the trend that they've been living in for the past, what, 4 or 5 years?
No, they totally bucked the trend because it outsold their expectations by 50%.
No, it outsold not their expectations, but their previous.
Okay, then
Previous games.
we have to answer what the expectations were specifically if they did not expect it to sell similarly to the prior game. So where did you get your data on what the sales expectations for Fire Emblem Fates was?
I'm sure they do release that information, actually. I'm pretty sure I have seen a lot of that stuff. Nintendo's pretty open about stuff like that.
You can find it on.
Well, I mean, we really don't have to go down that road. We can just say, okay, let's assume that the sales projections were missed. Now you need to justify how the PR and marketing department was involved in that.
Okay, let's get to that. What is Allison Rapp's official job title?
PR. PR for Treehouse.
This title, job title,
Public
official
relations.
title.
Yeah?
Conspirator at Treehouse.
Product marketing specialist at Nintendo of America. Specialist being PR.
That does not sound right because she does not work for Nintendo of America. She works for Nintendo Treehouse. And even in the
Which
video
is a
that you
part
have
of
on
it.
your channel,
Hold
they
on.
specifically say
Hey,
that she's from Treehouse.
Satan.
Now, if she is, now I do have to cut you off there with you saying is a part of Nintendo. If they are truly third-party contractors, then no, they're not part of Nintendo. They're a company that Nintendo pays. Now, I actually work as a contractor, and I know quite a bit about contracting,
Under
so no, that
Nintendo.
would be the case. Well, regardless, no, they're completely legally distinct from one another. That's the
We're
issue.
not talking about legalities, we're talking about PR.
Take a look at her
It's an
LinkedIn.
important distinction to make. Because nothing, like, look, you
Just
can...
a reminder what her current LinkedIn says.
Yeah.
She is that stupid to say that.
Marketing specialist at Nintendo of America.
Gee.
which means she's responsible for all these sales figures you guys keep on arguing about, and you're
So,
also
wait,
saying
she-
that's not relevant.
She's
Wait,
the
wait, whoa, whoa,
sole
whoa.
person
Because she's a
responsible.
PR agent at Nintendo of America, and it says that on her Twitter profile, therefore she's
And her
responsible for making the marketing predictions?
That's how
And
I
her
disagree.
Sales figures?
No,
I'm not saying
she's a
anything
marketing
about the
specialist.
marketing
So I'm
predictions.
sorry that I misunderstood. Could you restate where exactly are you finding her exact job title?
It was linked in the chat.
LinkedIn.
All right, this one at the bottom here, right?
Yes.
I gotta make sure that I'm not logged into LinkedIn.
Just go
All
in
right.
incognito.
Yeah, and as we were saying before,
It's most
Bacon in
likely
the chat
illegal.
says that. Well, whatever. That's way past. Never mind. That's in the past, and we've conceded that point, anyways. But look, like, all I'm saying, and Bob, if you want to go after Allison Rapp, look, go after fucking Allison Rapp. If you want to go after whoever the fuck, I have no place to tell you not to. All I'm saying is, if you guys, especially John, because John has more fucking ability than any of you, but if you guys
Her
want to go
LinkedIn
after
says she works
somebody,
for Treehouse. Her
go
experience-
after people.
2013 to present says
Just go after fucking Treehouse. Jesus Christ. Shut them down. Nobody wants
Why
them.
not just go to Treehouse or Nintendo or anywhere else? Why not go more? Why think so small?
My point exactly. Why don't you just destroy video games?
They're already doing a fine job of that themselves due to being unable to innovate due to the incoming wall that they're about to hit.
I mean, like, one of the people in the chat just earlier said that anything worth doing takes hard work, so, like, why are you taking the easy route out and picking on the small fries? Go after the big, hard targets, the people who we actually want to
let's
get-
avoid this particular person because they're soft art tough.
No, she's part of it. That's what I'm saying. Go after her, but along with everyone.
Well,
Take
why
down
haven't I been going
Treehouse
everyone?
if you're
We
going to
don't
go
have to
after
disagree on
people.
that point. We don't have to disagree on point.
We are
And I
not
said,
have to
why
agree.
are
We're
you-
already doing that. Where have you been?
Yeah,
Jesus.
like other people, as an example, people have been going after Nick Maragos, and I think people should look into him. I just think they're using the wrong vector to go after him. They're not pointing out his hypocrisies. Instead, they're too caught up on the conflict of interest thing, which is an issue, but it's unfortunately not an issue a lot of people care about. People care more about the fact that he's a hypocrite that's doing these translation jobs while supporting agendas that are going directly against that interest of translating.
Yeah. If there knows the difference between translations and localizations, you honestly believe that localizations are equivalent to translations?
Tell me the
Alexander,
difference
different.
between translations and localizations in your own words right now, because I'm pretty sure that this is a talking point that only exists to detract from valid arguments.
Is
I
everybody
would
else
like
that
to
What
you're
is the
clarify. I
Why
would
don't
like
you
to
tell
difference
the
between a
translator in the
translation
room
and a
what the difference
localization
between
is
a
this.
localization and a translation is?
A localization is not necessarily required to be accurate. It is required to be culturally understood.
Do you understand that the translation of Fire Emblem Fates was inaccurate and it was not modified to be more understandable by the audience? It was
Yes,
simply left
it's a localization.
inaccurate?
It's a localization. It was meant
That's
to
not
be culturally.
localization. That's a failure. We're talking about individual sentences that were misinterpreted and the
And outright
misunderstandings.
removed. Entire conversations were
yeah,
removed.
yeah.
too.
No, not entire
conversation.
conversations.
No,
we are
entire
talking.
Entire conversations were
We
removed
are
from that
talking
game.
words that were mistranslated and misinterpreted by
Yeah,
the people
there's that
working on the
issue
game,
too.
and then used to erroneously recharacterize the characters.
There's that too.
Translation errors. They
but
did
they're-
not
Just
perform localization.
Yes, they did.
No, they did not
They
successfully localize the game.
They
They
did
did
it
not
really
even
slow.
try to localize
Did
the
localize
game.
it.
No,
Okay.
look at the fucking errors.
I'm not
I
sure
think
you
the
understand
argument
what
that-
The
I mean
nature
here.
of the errors suggests that they did not attempt to localize the game.
I see
you
what
can,
both
but-
sides of the arguments is arguing right
We're
now,
arguing.
but you're
it's
both
different
arguing
from-
basically the same thing from a different standpoint.
No, that's not true. He's saying
No, that is
there's a difference between
No.
localization and translation that we do not understand, and that's the difference that makes some sort of a difference to his argument. But that is not the case.
Why are you getting so hung up over
Treehouse did not
semantics?
localize that video game. They erroneously translated words and sentences and then rewrote the game based on their misunderstanding of the original text. They did not successfully read the original text. They did not perform translation, which is the precursor to localization. You must first read and understand the original game to perform a localization. They did not read and understand the original game.
So it's a semantical dispute.
No, it's not a semantical dispute when he's using it to prove or disprove an argument.
Look, can we all agree that they did a horrible fucking job with the game?
That's
Yes.
not what's in dispute. What's
They
in
did such
dispute
a
is
bad
how
job that you
did they.
cannot
No, that's what I'm
call
saying.
it
Like, can we
localization.
drop this stupid dispute because it's getting us nowhere?
I agree. Okay.
It's fucking useless.
Wait, I
It's
wanna
a
see
useless argument.
I'm not going to be fucking patronized about this shit anymore. I know what the fuck a translation is, and I know what the fuck a localization is.
No, yeah. Oh, Jesus, yeah, and I agree with you there. You absolutely have shown that you do understand, and the person arguing against you is maybe arguing in bad faith. I have no fucking clue. However, this
Or
argument
maybe he
is
hasn't
pointless.
even been allowed to make his argument to begin with.
Adrian, you got the
You're
floor.
muted.
Yeah, sorry. I should have told you. Got the floor. What is... Adrian? I'll poke him.
I poked him myself. Okay.
God damn it.
Sorry.
All right, how long was I muted?
Dang it.
A few minutes because
Yeah,
we
that's
apparently
about
just
22.
mute at random.
No, I am the moderator of this call. If you start talking,
Probably
please
for the
just
best.
stop. Please stop
Just
talking over.
mute everyone and then
What?
decide.
Where were
Okay,
we?
that's starting with you.
Okay, is this a substantial difference that we need to argue over whether or not they properly localized the game, and we all agree that they did a horrible
I
job
believe
doing it?
that it
They
is
did a
relevant.
horrible job on both. That I would agree with.
I don't agree that they did a localization. I do not agree that localization was performed.
That's where I disagree. They did attempt a localization. They did perform a localization. Is it a good one?
You may have
No.
legitimate disagreements, but it's a
Could you
pedantic
please
point.
describe to me how they performed localization on Fire Emblem Fates?
By their attempt at bringing it over here, along with their censorship, along with their attempts at altering the content to cultural mores of Americans, in this case. Yes, they attempted a localization. It does not mean that they did a good one, though.
The translation failed.
Their translation
They did
is
not
shit,
successfully
too.
perform a step.
Well, I mean,
Okay, let's move on. We both.
yeah,
The actual
there's
issue
a
is
lot
they
of
say-
it. It's never going to be reached.
We're arguing semantics.
Conversation.
In
yeah.
summation, a localization is a little bit more than just a translation, which you yourself just agreed with.
But it requires a translation.
Okay,
It doesn't
hold on,
require a
hold on.
translation. It doesn't require an accurate translation.
The translation, yes, it requires an accurate
No,
translation.
it doesn't. As
It
evidence.
does not require that the translation be included in the released game. However, it does require an accurate translation as part of the process.
Ideally,
not
it does,
performed.
yeah.
No, you see, you're both wrong. The truth is they made an interpretation of Japanese text. It was neither
No,
a
they
localization
didn't.
nor
They incorrectly interpreted the text.
Yeah,
No,
they
it was-
suck
it-
at their job.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
We can both agree
that's
that
why-
they suck at
That's
their
the
job.
argument, though. Stop going down weird segues that say these fucking people are pedophiles when all they did was fucking fail at the game.
What the
they
hell
didn't do
are
their
you talking about?
jobs.
I'm not saying they're pedophiles.
Yeah, but John
No
Kelly
one
is.
No, he isn't.
No.
Bullshit, he's not. He's heavily implying it. And he knows he's
No,
doing
I'm
it.
not. No, I'm not.
You're
Yes,
funny.
you are. Why don't I go ask Allison Rapp right now whether or not she thinks that
probably
you're calling
has
her
you
a
blocked.
pedophile in your
She
Medium
has you
article?
blocked, dude. Dude, she has you blocked. She's not going to answer your questions. That's how horrible she is. She will not take customer feedback.
Oh, look how horrible she is.
Instead
Anyway.
of focusing on how horrible she is, why not just focus on how horrible Treehouse is?
Well,
No,
Yeah,
no,
but
no, no, no,
they
no,
did.
no, 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 no.
we could talk about another
no, no.
issue with
I'm going to
Treehouse.
mute you, John. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
How long ago was that interview with Grey Knight? How long ago was it?
Oh, God, that was like how many weeks ago?
Gee.
Like 2 weeks ago.
So why are we bringing it up now?
Because he was arguing with Grey Knight on Twitter.
Wait, when did I bring up Grey
Entire
Knight?
conversation.
Not you,
Oh,
Bureau.
okay. I was gonna say, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was. No.
It was Satan basically brought up. Sorry, it was like Satan got involved with an exchange I had with Grey Knight on Twitter, and he got butthurt over it. And
Yeah, because you had a debate with Grey Knight, and you linked the debate as proof of a point. So I took a look at the debate, and I found you talking over him for 10 minutes when he was trying to make valid points.
But you didn't even. But you completely misunderstood my point.
Why don't I go open this thing up? It's only 10 minutes long.
All right.
Find
Let's watch
valid
this.
points right away.
Give me the link.
No, we shouldn't. No, this is autism. Why do we have to go through 10 minutes of streaming?
Because
And why
you are asking why we're talking about this.
No, I'm asking you why anyone cares about this.
I
mean, it's like, oh no, John Kelly had a debate with Grey Knight. Someone's wrong on the internet.
Yeah, you're wrong on the internet. And we're here to resolve that problem.
John, to play devil's advocate here, and kind of funny because Satan's here, but whatever. To play devil's advocate here, you tend to harp on about things that other people could say the very same thing about, though. Why would anybody care about this? It's one of those things that while it is subjective, like if you're wanting people to give you leeway on that, give him a little leeway on it. You may come to some understanding, both of you.
Give me the link. Might as well. Are you gonna give it to me? Because I don't want to have to deal with digging through Twitter to get it.
Do we have to go through the stream again? Because
it's only 10
Satan's
minutes.
Hang on a sec. I'm reviewing it now, and I can find.
Why can't you give me the link?
I'm going to mute it. I'm going to mute this for a second, and I'm going to watch the first 10 minutes of that video real quick and come back.
If it's a stream, I think it is. It was on Green Grapist channel. You can look it up.
All right, I'll get it myself.
It's not hard to do a Google search.
Can we talk about something else? We've kind of gone over this.
People are
yeah, I'm sure you would love to change the topic.
Well, no, we can get back to the topic whenever you've pulled it up. We'll get back to it.
Exactly.
Go ahead, John.
All right. Beermo asked earlier, and I wasn't able to actually address this. What else I've been working on? Or no, actually, no. I was actually fielding what I was working on. He didn't actually ask. Have you? And I was bringing up Elysium Shadows. And that one's interesting. I'm surprised that Gamergate didn't pick up on this one.
Because he's
I think
friends
they did
with,
a little bit.
John, didn't you tell me the guy who worked on it is friends with Brandon Orselli?
That, I think, is the reason why nobody picked up on it.
Jeez.
The thing about it, what happened was, it's an interesting little story how I found out about this. There was a post on V about someone pointing out there was a conflict of interest between Brandon Orselli's articles and this guy. I forget the guy's name, some Italian guy. I have to look it up, but the guy who was working on these battles are friends. I could actually pull it up in a.
Now you keep talking. I'll give you the link.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was someone on V pointed this out, and someone else pointed this out on Twitter to Bone Golem and Brandon Orselli that, hey, this is a conflict of interest. And Brandon Orselli was like, oh, I forgot to disclose. It was an honest mistake. And he retroactively disclosed it, which is useless. And for some reason, he gets a pass on Deep Freeze because even though he did fuck up, I mean, the standard should be he gets a point there, but he has a Band-Aid on it, just like everyone else. But for some reason, he didn't get it because, quote-unquote, honest mistake. But that's not the interesting thing about this story. I did some more digging into it, and not only did they thank the gaming press, their friends in the gaming press on the Kickstarter page itself for their positive coverage, which included guys from Destructoid and I forget the other site, but there was another publishing outlet in this. Okay.
Not DM. I can send you for Twitter if you want to guess. Check TeamSpeak.
No, I got it.
Okay.
All right, this should give me the guy's name.
Yeah, Patrick Kowalik? K-O-W-A-L-I-K. However you pronounce that.
Let's call him Cowlick because that is actually a funny name.
We're losing viewers.
Patrick Cowlick, yeah. The more interesting thing is that this guy has raised on Kickstarter like close to $200,000 for a game that's for a Dreamcast game, right? That he promised to release in 2014. It's been pushed back to 2016. And
hey guys, I hate to break in, but I got a thought I can't lose. So
go ahead.
Okay,
I was just looking at this video, right? And at 421, you say that Grey Knight was defending Allison Rapp. And why else would Grey Knight do that unless he's a pedophile?
Why else would he do that?
Let me link this right here because we got this
Why else
video
would he
open. And at 4 minutes and 21 seconds, you say, why else would Grey Knight defend Allison Rapp unless he's a pedophile?
So?
And then when he tries to respond, you talked over him for what?
So?
For 8
Why do you
minutes. Yeah, so you say. So that's why I got pissed off and decided to talk to you.
Did you listen to the other 2 hours of the stream?
Why would I have to? I said I listened to the
Because you
first
should
10
get the
minutes
full
and it pissed me
context
off
instead
so
of just jumping to
thoroughly
conclusions.
that I had to come in here and talk to you about it. Because when I heard that, what I heard was John Kelly is the opposition, the controlled opposition, there for no other reason than to
Satan,
piss Grey Knight off and drive him away.
Satan, your argument before was he was calling Allison Rapp a pedo, but now you're
Yeah, I'm
saying...
sorry, I was trying to focus on the actual core of the argument.
But that's
You didn't do
completely
that.
different.
You misrepresented the argument.
Yeah.
And
No,
then you
you're
come up
wrong.
with a conspiracy theory.
Okay, well, hey, so what's your actual fucking response to how you called Grey Knight a pedophile for defending Allison Rapp?
I think it's fucking hilarious that a guy who makes disingenuous arguments all day on YouTube streams and on Twitter gets offended that he gets pulled a pedophile.
When was the last
to the point
time
where
that
he
I
has to
called
cry.
somebody a pedophile
Grey
who wasn't?
Knight, not you.
So, John, so you are admitting that it was a disingenuous argument and you were doing it as an attack on his character and not an actual attack on his points.
I did attack his points, though.
But no,
then I went to his character.
just don't dodge that. It's a very
Your
simple
opening
question.
argument was that he's a pedophile for defending Allison Rapp. That's completely
wasn't my
fucking
opening argument.
inexcusable.
That was
That
not
wasn't
the
my
opening
opening
argument.
Yes, it was indeed the opening argument. It was literally the opening argument. I
Nope.
just linked it right here. There's 2 minutes and 41 seconds of opening argument, and that is his opening point. That is how he begins the stream. He has the floor, he gets the floor, he makes that question, and cedes the floor.
And that
It
wasn't
is
what I said
literally
before
your
that.
opening argument to call him a
Nope.
pedophile.
Nope. I actually made the argument beforehand that basically Grey Knight was claiming I took her out of context, and I proved he didn't. And I proved I didn't. And
Yeah, well,
then
watch
I
the
went
fucking
to the real
first
question.
2 minutes
Why?
and 41
As a
seconds
parallel
of this
point,
video
I
again,
questioned
'cause
why he
you're
didn't even argue the
wrong.
point in the first place. Okay, you can call me wrong, but at least
Yeah,
I'm
watch
not
the
a
first
pedophile.
2 minutes. And let's play it right here. Can I get this? Let me present.
It
No,
won't,
you
it
can't
won't,
do
it
that.
won't give you, hold on, it won't give you the audio.
You
You
can't
need to
do that
can you
because
feed it
you have to.
Yeah,
You
John, let
have
me-
to feed it through somehow or something like that. And if we listen to it, we could clearly hear me pointing out that he's claiming I took Allison Rapp out of context, and I showed that I didn't. So
No, I want
That's-
to play this right fucking
Yeah,
now because this is pretty severe.
why are you making such a big deal of someone
Because
calling
this
someone
is
else
a
a
pretty
pedophile?
fucking
Because
big
that's-
deal.
Satan,
John,
hold
that's
on,
not
Satan.
the equivalent
Hold
of
on,
saying
hold on.
that somebody is a rapist who's not. That
Okay,
is
so
pretty much
hold on.
on
Is
level.
it wrong to call someone a rapist if they're not correct? You agree with
It
that?
is, this
Absolutely.
is the equivalent of you calling somebody
So
who
we
said
can all agree.
that we
We
shouldn't
can all
have
agree
rape
calling someone a
laws.
rapist.
Hey,
Right.
shut the fuck up
So-
and let me
no,
talk.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet because I'm getting to my point.
Yeah, you are
If we
done.
can agree that calling someone a rapist,
Okay,
if
hold
we
on,
can
hold on.
agree-
No,
hold on, no, I'm getting to the point. If we
Yes.
can agree that calling someone a rapist when they're not is wrong,
No,
why did you spend
did
months
not say
calling?
that he was a
Wait, why did you spend
because he
months?
called somebody
Why
a
did you
rapist.
spend months not only calling someone a rapist, but also calling them a murder that they did in 1998 behind an Arby's?
What you said was equivalent
No,
to
no,
saying
You're dodging the
said-
point.
what
Why
you
did you
said-
call Ralph for months a rapist?
What you
and
said was equivalent to saying that somebody who defends a rapist is a rapist.
and that's what you did to Ralph.
Is that what I
For
did to
months.
Ralph? I'm pretty sure that I did not do that to Ralph.
You did that for months.
Somebody
You
who
called him a
advocates
rapist and a
for
murderer.
somebody who advocates for a
Why
man
did you call Ralph a
being
rapist?
innocent
Why did you call
before
Ralph
proven
a
guilty
rapist
is a
and
rapist to
murderer
you,
for
John
months?
Kelly?
Why did you call Ralph a murderer? and
John
rapist for
Kelly,
months?
is somebody
actually-
who defends a rapist a rapist? If I say
that's-
that a man should be innocent before proven guilty, am I defending rapists and therefore a rapist?
Was Ralph innocent before he was proven guilty?
Answer the fucking question.
I don't have to because you already did the
You
same thing.
don't
you're accusing
have
me of.
to.
Oh, John.
Because
did it for
because
months,
Grey
dude.
Knight is defending Allison Rapp. That makes him a pedophile.
How about you
Why did
both
you
just
call
give
Ralph
each
a
other a
rapist?
chance to answer each other's questions? If John goes first, and no matter
Because
how
it was a
asinine the
fucking joke,
question
and it's a
is,
well-known joke in which a very
it
popular
is.
comedian
Yeah, it is.
tells the joke, and everybody knows it, and everybody
No.
knows that Ralph didn't rape
I
anybody.
didn't know that
because
was.
they know the
I didn't
fucking
know that
joke,
that was.
John
I
Kelly.
didn't know. Hold on. I didn't know this. I mean, I knew that was.
Well, you know it now as soon as you looked it
I
up,
didn't
right?
know that.
So
I
we
didn't
agree
know
it
there
was
was
funny.
a joke going around about that. I had
It
no
was
idea.
funny, right? So we agree
As
that
your
calling
opening
Ralph
argument,
say
you
There are
that
still
Ralph
people
raped
who
and
believe
murdered
that.
for defending
So,
Allison
okay,
Cox.
okay,
It's-
taking what Satan said there, then, John, were you doing that
All
for
right.
comedic effect with the Grey Knight?
Yeah.
Were you calling him? So your standpoint is that calling him a pedophile because he was defending somebody you claim is a pedophile defender was for comedic effect.
Barlow did 9/11.
Yeah, you finally got it, and I don't get why people are so butthurt over that. It's kind of like you can't take your.
Here,
like,
this is
you
what
know,
I'm
those-
saying. John Kelly is wasting your fucking time and making arguments that make no damn sense and are disingenuous purposefully to detract
This is coming from the
the
guy
relevant
who's
Well,
claiming
no,
that
no,
Ralph
I will
raped
say
and
that-
murdered
No,
the
this
guy
is
behind
just
an
way more
Arby's
than
night.
taking information from somebody and being accidentally incorrect. This is willfully fucking with people to piss them off.
And here's a difference too in what happened between Satan and Ralph and between you and Gray. You and Gray were having an actual recorded debate. Satan was shitting on Ralph on Twitter in no sort of a debate situation,
Oh no!
not in any
600
kind of
people
serious.
saw it.
Well, no,
Like,
no, but
how
no.
many
Here's the
people saw
thing,
it?
though. That's not the argument. That's not the argument. The whole argument
Okay.
here is the fact that the conversation you were having was meant to be a serious conversation. Now, the conversation between Ralph and Satan at the time was never meant to be a serious conversation. So there's the distinction between the two.
The whole
That's a
of the
clear
debate knows
distinction
no
there.
mercy.
And wait, so it's not
From what I'm
comedy.
hearing, it's
So from you saying
I'm
it,
you.
from you saying that the halls of debate hold no mercy, then you're saying that it wasn't a comedic thing; it was an attack on his character.
Are you taking the phrase "halls of debate" literally?
So I'm just going to be
Well, I'm just-
vindicated here for a sec. I had a fucking problem with the way that he was talking to Grey Knight. I had
Well, you
a
didn't have a
fucking
problem
with
saying
the
that to Ralph.
veracity of his
No.
arguments and the arguments that he was making. Their validity I have a severe issue with. And that's why I came here today, to point this shit out. That you are intentionally fucking with people when you are supposedly having a legitimate argument.
It's hard to take that seriously when you've been accusing a guy who just shitposts on a blog and calling him for that
You
a
just
racist
shitpost on.
and
Now, I
murderer.
thought that you made significant contributions to content that was shown on InfoWars.
No, that was Thidron. You're mixing me up with somebody else.
Dummy.
All right, you were completely claiming responsibility for the work that somebody
you
else had
missed-
done.
no, you were
That was
fucking-
Again, John Kelly.
I'll take
like
you
you
seriously.
always do.
I
take
cannot
you-
handle
I'll tell you
all
what you
this
do. You
fucking
lurk in an
straw all
IRC
over the
chat,
place.
or a fucking, not IRC, I'm sorry. You lurk in a TeamSpeak chat, and you listen to people who are too afraid to fucking speak out on their own. And you take the content that they find and repackage it and release it as yours to get brownie points on the internet so that you get your likes and your retweets, and they give you a little rush of, what is it, endorphins? What is that shit? When you fucking do something in World of Warcraft, what is that?
You realize that TeamSpeak is public, right?
You can come in anytime. Anyone's
Yeah, so you
welcome in
lurk in
anyway.
the TeamSpeak and you wait for somebody to have some sort of discovery that you can claim as your own. Whether or not it's public does not matter.
What does this have to do with Ralph raping and murdering a young girl behind an Arby's in 1998? That's my
I don't
question.
know. What does it have to do with that, John Kelly?
Look,
Perhaps
it is-
bad
No, I'm going to talk now.
made
No.
to try to
Look,
deflect
no.
from the topic. at
Either-
hand? Could
either it
that
was-
be what you're doing?
Okay, now you're getting it. Dang it. Okay, either it was okay to say that the thing with Ralph, and it was okay to say the thing with Grey
No,
Knight.
that's not
Or-
true. I was not having a serious argument with Ralph, and he was having a
And neither was
debate,
John.
a recorded
If you met
debate.
Grey Knight, John was definitely not having a serious argument. Come on. Have
It
you met
wasn't
Grey
worth
Knight?
taking seriously.
Grey Knight thought
Say,
that
if
it
you
was a
met-
serious argument, and he showed up there to
Satan,
talk
I
about
have
his
known
viewpoint.
Grey Knight for years. This is what he does. He has always been a disingenuous little
You're full of shit. He's the one that was getting shot on in this fucking
Gray,
stream.
do you
I
know Grey
don't
Knight?
give a fuck what you think.
You
This
ain't
is
check this
based on
fucking
my
guy
own.
out. Who?
Oh my god, dude. You,
Satan, do you know Grey Knight? Have you talked to him before?
It doesn't
Okay,
matter.
let me
Yes,
give
it
you
does. You
the
need to know who he is. Do you know him? You
I
talked to him
don't
before?
really know him, no.
Then yeah.
I've probably
Then
been
why are
on
you waiting
about a couple
to-
dozen streams with him, though.
Why are you weighing into a dispute that you don't know the full context of?
Dude,
John.
I know the full context. Your opening
Careful.
argument was to call somebody a pedophile for sticking up
That
for somebody
wasn't my
that you
opening
heavily
argument.
implied was a pedophile or otherwise defending pedophiles.
I've went on my way to say that Alice Rapp is not a pedophile, so that argument
You
is incorrect.
presented it as a debate, and then in your discussion this afternoon, you linked the debate and
Epic rap
jokingly
battle.
said
Yeah, that's. Oh, hold on.
that
The
Grey
title of
Knight
this
will
video
act as
has
if he
epic
had
rap.
won the debate.
The title of the video has epic rap battle in it. That's a serious debate. Come on.
He posted
Titles
it
are
I
as
didn't
a
see
claim
any.
to have won the
Yeah,
debate.
I didn't see any Oxford dictionary. I didn't see any Oxford moderator there moderating the debate and making an official platform where everyone's supposed to apply a certain set of rules and stuff like that.
So you're saying
Oh, the
that
rules don't apply to you.
your standards are lax depending on the situation then.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
He doesn't apply the same standards to himself.
If
that
you
he
don't
applies to
apply the
others.
same standards to every stream you're in situations like that, especially ones that are framed as a debate, then that certainly is the case, John.
Does that count in Twitter arguments as well? They have a
No,
much
no, I'm talking about
Why don't they?
streams to
Why
specific.
don't they?
This
Twitter's
person had
a-
legitimate complaints. He had legitimate gripes with you, and he wanted to speak to you to answer these gripes, and you shat on him in the most disgusting way that I have ever seen.
Can you prove that was his intent?
I'm pretty sure he talked to you for 4 fucking
Pretty
hours.
sure isn't proof. Pretty sure isn't proof. You can't prove the
Let's get him
intent.
in
So
here
therefore,
tonight.
No, I only see two here.
Boy, we are.
Why
down
would I
to
wanna have
level
another-
semantics at this point?
You want to get
Yeah,
him in
why
here?
would I
You gonna
wanna
keep
have-
doing this? You gonna keep defending this fucking behavior of yours, John Kelly?
Are you
Let's
are
put
you still
someone else-
defending? Are you still defending the Ralph thing? They're
What
the same
Ralph
That's a good
thing.
question.
dude.
It's the same
Ralph
thing,
Murray.
dude.
We are
Yes.
completely
It's not
chill.
the same thing.
Ralph and I are fine. We go on streams together once in a while.
Well,
it's not a big deal.
now you're chill. You were
Yeah,
chill
now
for
we're
months.
chill because it was a joke. We were kidding.
Yeah,
you did not
yes.
frame your personal attack as a
It's-
joke. You
It
said
wouldn't
that
have
anybody
happened
who
battle.
defends, you said that anybody who defends Allison Rapp must inherently be a pedophile as your opening argument.
No, that wasn't the opening argument.
That
Keep
was
on
the
making that
opening
point.
argument, John Kelly.
It wasn't the opening
Why are
argument.
you
It
lying,
wasn't.
John Kelly?
I'm not
We got
lying.
the
Anyone can
You're
check that for
lying
themselves.
because you don't want all the listeners to know that you are the
I'm
controlled
linking-
opposition
I'm
to
linking the video
Gamergate
in the
who's
chat.
Give me a link.
intentionally derailing the
Post-
conversation.
Dan, post a link to the video.
I
Yeah,
posted
go-
a link to the video in the sidebar already.
I'm linking it in the Okay, if you refresh the
In the
description
YouTube
in a
chat.
moment, you can see the video there.
There you go.
Give me a sec to copy the title there.
Holy shit.
There we go. There, now if you're watching this live, if you refresh the video, you can see the debate between John Kelly and Grey Knight in the description of this video. There you go.
There you go. Like, Satan, you shouldn't take this internet bullshit so seriously. You really shouldn't.
John, follow your own advice. Follow your own advice.
You really don't
following
know
mine.
him, do you?
No one better than... Actually, I'm pretty sure John and I have had some very serious discussions that even you yourself wouldn't be privy to. So trust me, I know John a little bit more than most. And John will admit that. John will admit that openly.
I've had discussions with him, though.
I've had talks
Quite
with
a
John
few
too.
serious discussions, but no, you really should follow your own advice on that as well, John, and you know you should.
Yeah, well.
At least you admit it.
I'll admit,
This
sometimes I
fucking
do take
behavior,
this too
dude.
seriously.
It's
One at a
fucking
time.
disgusting.
You're the guy who keeps on going on about Ralph raping and murdering a young girl
I'm
behind
pretty
Arby's
sure I haven't said
1998.
that in a
And then
long
you're trying to
time,
play
and
the
it was
ball.
a meme, dude.
You didn't apologize for it either.
Do you really not see the difference between saying Ralph raped and murdered a girl behind Arby's in 1998 and you saying that anybody who refutes your arguments against Allison
You're
Rapp is a
dramatic.
pedophile?
That's a nice straw man you got there.
Majority.
That's not a straw man. I'm not the one who said it on record. You're
That's
the
not
one
what
who
Yes,
said
you
it on
did.
record.
Yes, you did. You have it on record. I can cite the stream where you said this. You said it to Ralph. You jumped to the stream and you said that Ralph raped and murdered a young girl behind an Arby's in 1998. You did it repeatedly on the
And
stream.
you don't
And
in
Ralph
any
still
way
has that stream
understand
up.
why I would have done that. You don't
Does it
understand
matter?
in any way how
Still
that's
did it.
different from what you did.
You're trying to apply selective standards for yourself because you got caught up in your own morality,
Yeah,
moral
that implies that
hypocrisy.
you don't understand the difference between...
I got an idea. Why not? Because it's getting late. Why not? You come on another time, and I'll bring Grey Knight here, and you can talk with him. Why
John
not?
Kelly just doesn't understand. He does not think introspectively. He cannot consider the impact of his own actions, and he just doesn't know what he's doing at any given point in time. He's completely on autopilot. He
Okay,
doesn't
that's
think.
it.
I'll have to say I agree to that point as well, to be honest.
Okay, where is it?
Why do you care what's going on inside my head?
John, you and I have had this conversation. Oh, are you talking to him? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, like it's kind of like it's kind of like I got asked to come on the stream, and we're kind of going into a bunch of bullshit about that doesn't even matter to what we were originally talking about. I thought the Elysium Shadows things would be a bit more interesting to talk about, which is why I try to segue into it.
Yeah, it would be much easier for you to talk about, rather than focusing on how you attack people and bring them down.
Why should I defend myself to a ridiculous claim against me?
I don't have to fucking make any positive claims, dude. You can watch the first 2 minutes and 40 seconds of that video for yourself.
Honestly, John, I think you should spend less time trying to be defensive and more time working to
I'm gonna let you
better
two talk.
yourself.
Go on. No, go on.
Just-
Tell me what you really think about me. Go ahead.
I've already told you what I think about you, John. I think that you have a lot of potential. You're
Your actions
squandering it
speak
all.
for themselves, John Kelly.
Can I tell you something? He's
Sure.
done things you don't know about, okay?
No,
John,
and I
you-
understand that, but here's the thing, that even this entire
Dan, are you
conversation is
presenting to
showing
Are you
that
presenting to everyone?
Yeah.
Are you presenting? Okay, good.
Yes.
yeah,
Go on.
he's above
Keep
this.
talking.
Okay. John, do you mind if we talk about the RIP Twitter thing? If you don't
Yeah,
want
go for it.
to...
You're the
you
host, dude.
sure?
You can decide.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you're the host.
He's just going to make some more dishonest arguments and
No,
try to derail the
I'm
topic
asking
of
John if I
discussion.
could talk about something that we talked about in private.
He's laughing nervously because he knows he's been backed into a corner on this one.
All right, I'll ask you.
I'm not laughing nervously. I'm laughing because it's funny.
I don't know, it sounded like a nervous laugh to me, John Kelly.
It's ESP want to
Jesus
sit in your
Christ, am I gonna have to implement the Goldwater defense now?
Yeah, thanks for that one.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Dan,
Yeah, he really says,
Hold on.
that saying Ralph raped and murdered a girl behind Arby's in 1998 is the same thing as saying that people who disagree with you are pedophiles for
No.
defending pedophiles.
At least quote what John
More
said
nervous
exactly.
laughter.
At least quote what John said exactly. Come on.
Here, let me quote it again exactly. Let me get the exact quote for you.
Okay, I'm done for a
Let's
second.
scroll down a little bit, and we'll find this exact quote one more time.
All right, let's see it.
and what did you want to talk about the RP Twitter?
Check TeamSpeak. I should.
What I'm looking for? I'm checking TeamSpeak. Looking at your messages.
I just sent it.
Oh, the niche gamer thing?
No. Or whatever. You don't want to talk about it, it's fine.
No, send it to me again. I'm serious. I'm not
So
getting
the
it.
quote
Oh,
is, the direct quote is, my question is, why would Grey Knight want to do this, meaning defending Allison Rapp, unless he's a pedophile?
Just
Why
let it go,
would Grey
dude.
Knight want to defend Allison Rapp unless
see
he's a
the-
pedophile?
Can I see the tweet?
Oh no, this is the first, it's 4 minutes and 15 seconds on the
So
video
it's
that I
four-
linked in the
That's
sidebar.
it's 4 minutes in.
Oh, the,
So not the opening.
that you could.
No, that is
Oh,
the
you-
opening argument. He makes his opening
Oh,
argument.
here, let me
where he
give you-
states-
4 minutes
states
in.
all the things that Allison Rapp did, and then he says, my question is,
Aha!
why would
There
you
we go.
defend Allison
And
Rapp?
then,
Unless you're a
he
pedophile.
says that. So that's not the opening point. Is
No, it was an uninterrupted stream of you talking for the
Same.
first 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Same
You
from
can
I'm
lie
getting
and
it.
say that it wasn't as
Debate
much as
hard.
you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, John. You want to talk about this?
Yeah, that'd be a lot more interesting than this bullshit.
I'm sure it would be for you.
From what I'm getting, you
It'd
just
be
took the
more
bait hard.
interesting for everyone because everyone else has pretty much drowned you out at this point.
You're never going to learn, are you, John Kelly? You're just going to keep going and going and going until you have no friends left.
You really don't know John, do you?
That joke.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can't get lower than what is it? You can't get lower.
You can't get lower than John Kelly. Yeah,
Can't
yeah.
get lower than John Kelly is right now in the friends department.
Yeah, you never know.
You got to
Good.
scrape the bottom of the barrel of Twitter.
Hey, you can always. Oh wait, he's already friends with.
Why would people want to be friends with me? That's kind of dumb.
Oh man, that's a good question.
John, I know that
know.
you're being self-defeating in a comical way.
That's a
there,
good question for Azusa to answer.
You may actually want to ruminate on that question a bit.
Azusa,
ponder on it a
why
bit,
would
but
somebody
not for
want to
long.
be friends with John Kelly?
I don't know. Why would someone want to be friends with Adolf Hitler?
He seems like a pretty great guy to me. He's done a lot of good things.
Like?
We're changing the topic, though. Azusa, why would somebody want to be friends with John Kelly? Are you friends with John Kelly?
Yeah.
You are?
Sure.
You're friends. Okay. Why are you John Kelly's friend?
Mm.
Tell me one thing that you like about John Kelly.
I give excellent blowjobs. That's my secret.
You
Degenerate.
need a little bit more time to think.
Absolutely degenerate.
I question why the fuck anyone would want to be friends with John Kelly, but whatever.
Exactly. It's a dumb question. Let's just move on to something more interesting.
Wait, can you not answer? Azusa, what is one thing that you like about John Kelly?
But here's the thing. You're asking
No,
John
no,
Kelly.
Well,
I'm
well,
going
well, well,
to
well.
start muting because he's an interesting person to talk to.
He's
Well,
interesting to talk to.
You're not having fun here? Come on.
Well, if I had to list one thing I like about Kelly, it'd be the fact that he doesn't actually know when to quit, so I can just keep slapping him down every time.
There you go.
For real.
Maybe, John Kelly, maybe you would have more friends if you didn't say that people who disagree with you are pedophiles.
No, just Grant.
You don't know how many friends he has, do you?
You could have at least one.
He has
How many
more than...
friends does a person really need at the end of the day?
You could perhaps use a friend who could say one thing about you that he likes.
I
Maybe
already
one positive
offered-
character trait.
Look, I already...
Why can't we be friends? Why
If
can't
you
we
went on a first
be
date with a girl,
friends? Da, 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 da.
you asked
Why
her,
can't
I already
Yeah.
told you I'd help John fix his crap. Okay.
like,
What do you want?
what if there was some sort of a review system for dates, and your date said about you,
People?
he was a nice guy. Let's say
mean
you
that
go on
people-
Tinder. You're trying to do a
people-
hookup on Tinder,
You
right?
mean that people site? The
And
one
she
that...
replies, she gives you a review, and she says,
Are
"You're
we-
interesting."
Okay, you know what?
Israel.
It is... You got 15 more minutes because it's going to be 4 a.m. soon, okay?
Holy shit. We've really been here for how long now?
I don't
Awesome.
care.
That's
4
very
hours.
important
Too fucking long.
questions.
4 hours.
That's very important questions. Like, why would people want to be friends with John Kelly?
It's a good question. I don't understand
It's an
why.
excellent
anybody
question.
would
We're
ever
just
do
spending
that.
another 4 hours discussing this.
I disagree. Just to say.
Perhaps some more pressure.
Honestly, I don't
Why
think.
does John Kelly feel the need so severely to derail Gamergate that he would even destroy his own personal reputation to do so?
You do realize how many John Kellys there are out there, right? Like,
was saying earlier that John Kelly
He admits to the fact that John does openly admit to the fact that he's probably ruined his professional ability due to the shit that he's pulled. That is
not
something
really.
that
He must be
Not
getting
like anyone
paid.
knows.
That's
Not,
the only
no one
thing
knows
that's
what
his
John
own
Kelly
words.
means.
That's his own words.
He must be getting paid.
His own words. Didn't you? his own words were that he does not have any friends, even though I know his fact that isn't true.
In a very, very extremely serious conversation that I have no doubt that he was being honest about.
Yeah.
He himself has said that he...
Well, actually, yeah, there are certain things that, I'm naturally not going to be able to do because of certain things I said. So, yeah, there you go. So, there's that. It's kind of like a consequence that I've already accepted. So, there.
I'm just saying, why pull yourself down that path, man, whenever you have the ability to actually still change without having to?
That's fun.
Yeah, it's fun, sure. I mean, look, if you want to have fun at your own demise, by all means, but it's not a very smart thing to do. And
we all should have listened to Seattle for Truth a very long time ago, because he truly is the cuck who cucked Gamergate.
Kick.
No.
Oh my god. Did we
But I have
really...
to admit,
Look, I already told you, I already gave an example of something that I want to do. I know, John, you wanted to help for the grants thing, but then Beardmo, you said, oh, that's too hard.
Yeah, it's way too difficult.
The
It
what?
is not actually,
No,
my
no, no.
friend.
I'm not saying it's
It's
too.
a lot more difficult
I'm just
than
saying
calling
that's
people pedophiles
Dude, it's
on
your
Twitter.
money.
Hey,
It's your
Satan.
The idea does need to be workshopped, I think.
Hey, Satan.
But it's-
You realize that a fucking Minecraft clone that's supposed to be teaching people about the effects of climate change managed to get like $100,000 in Department of Education grants, right?
That is your tax dollars. Your money. At least you're an American, right?
I think it would be much
don't
more
have to
effective to call people who want the same things that you want, generally, from the games industry, pedophiles, on Twitter. I think that this is what's going to help save the games industry. I think that we could really do something here.
Let's do more of that.
I think that we need to make more streams in which we call each other pedophiles. And especially pedophiles for defending other pedophiles.
I think we need a stream where
I
we
think from now on, every time anybody agrees with John Kelly, they're a pedophile.
Well, no, that wouldn't make anybody who agrees with John Kelly an autist. Let's be.
Oh, okay. We'll have to go with autism instead of.
So it's
taken already.
Doing this.
Well, autism is a fairy tale. It doesn't actually exist. But let's actually talk about something serious for a sec. Can we talk about Elysium Shadows for a second with no bullshit?
Okay, you got 12 minutes. Go.
Okay, Elysium Shadows. The guy behind it, the Cowlick guy. I forget his exact name.
Is he a pedophile?
No. You're not interrupting.
No,
Go.
he's not a pedophile. Anyway, this guy has ripped off consumers to the tune of 200,000 grand for a game that will probably never exist. It's already been in development for long past its due, and it's something people should be looking into and calling him out. And I think that this is something that the FTC might be interested in.
Is it a development hell type thing, or is it one of those things to where they took the money and nothing to show? Because there is a difference between a development hell and nothing to show.
I think it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I have to do more research on it.
Before you throw down a hit
piece on that, do research before you start calling people frauds.
Yeah, that's what I was saying
there's
earlier.
A reason, there's a reason why I still need to do more research on the project. But regardless, it's still 2 years past its due, and the guy's been making videos about how there isn't enough money left to pay his bills and stuff like that. So it's definitely an issue.
I mean, Hideo Kojima is fucking years past his due, and granted, the last game he created was very unfinished, and I don't think that was really his fault. But there are many games out there that have went on past their due and have ended up being something quite great. So it really. That's kind of a weak argument.
And for everyone that's actually worth a damn, you end up getting.
No, yeah, and I'm not saying that they don't exist. Sure.
Hold on. Here's an idea. Why don't you look more into it?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Do your research before you start coming out with these articles. That's.
Why does Thidrin keep getting muted? He's got like the least airtime.
Yeah, Thidrin does.
I didn't mute him.
Did I get muted again?
Yeah,
I
totally
think.
I thought it was Azu. I thought you were the one muting him.
No,
I think it's Jason.
No, it wasn't.
It's Jason now. Go ahead, Thidrin.
Well, there isn't much to say. Each time I end up having something to say, I'm already muted. God damn it.
There might be some on your end, but go ahead with what you were going to say there.
I don't even know what I was going to say because I said it.
Shadows.
Elysium Shadows.
Yeah,
That
your
guy's
thoughts on
a
it.
piece of shit and can go fuck himself at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're going to construct,
Would I say that he's a fraud? I can't say that in a legal sense, but I can say that I can lump him in with Sargon, with Roguestar, and a whole host of other failed devs.
Yeah, the line for me, and Beardmo does raise a point about development cycles of a game. The line for me is when you ask for money and promise a release date, and you fail to deliver on that release date, you're a failed developer at that point. That should be the standard.
That's still one of those kind of in the air things. Because, okay, think of it this way. Stardew Valley. Here's one. That was supposed to be released 3 years ago. Yes, he took money for that. Absolutely. That was supposed to be released 3 years ago.
Yep. And he was a failed game dev until he actually freaking released it. He's also a bit of an idiot for giving it to Chucklefish, who likes to fuck people over.
Well, but regardless, it came out now. It's a fantastic game, and it is probably one of the best-selling games on Steam.
It's still
To address that point, Beardmo brought up. Even though he's a failed dev because he failed to deliver his game on time, he still made reparations for the fact that he didn't deliver the game on time by actually finishing the game.
And that's why I say do your research, because the guy very well may be actually doing hard work to try to fix it. He just got in a hole. It happens.
Well, that's what we got to look into.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That's why research is important on this.
I agree. But still, the fact is, those people should be making demands of where the game's coming and when it's coming out. And if I were one of those backers, I demand a refund right away. And like I said, this could be an FTC issue because
I would do something else because John Kelly is only here to make you waste your time. So I wouldn't even bother wasting my time looking.
Why'd you come here in the first place then?
Because
to
raise awareness of John Kelly being a shill.
So you're a virtue signaler.
Yes, yeah.
So pointing out that you're a shill is virtue signaling?
Pretty much.
Mute me, I mute
John,
you, faggot.
In saying that, you're basically saying that there's a whole side of people who want nothing more than to just shit on you. And even if that is the case, why is that the case?
Can I give you a bit of...
Because they disagree with John Kelly. Why else?
But that's the thing that, like...
Hey, Beardmo, can I give you an example? You know that little thing with Machinima and the Xbox One deal? You know that whole thing how they paid a bunch of money to even small-name YouTubers to be...
Oh, yeah.
Why, if they're doing that, why wouldn't they do the same in Gamery to make sure that certain things aren't talked about? Stuff like that. Like
saying that people are paid off.
It's entirely possible. I am not.
If it was something more structured, sure, but unless somebody has a hell of a platform, unless you're implying that Sargon or
we're talking small amounts of money.
It is entirely possible.
Hold on.
No, hold on. It is entirely possible that Sargon. I am not going to accuse him, but it is possible that he was offered money and took it.
It's possible.
It's possible, yes, but you need more evidence to go on that.
Yeah, that's almost a Red Scare level tactic there, though.
No. Here's what you do. What you do is you say, well, anyone could be paid off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to base each argument on is this a good idea or is it not a good idea? I'm not going to go with the group says it. So no.
Welcome to being an adult.
Be critical of all the arguments. And if you hear John Kelly spouting bullshit, call him out on it so that I don't have to do it every goddamn time.
And if anyone actually wants to contribute Fire Emblem Fates fan translation, feel free to hit me up. Yada yada.
We only heard half that.
I said, if anyone wants to hit me up for the Fire Emblem Fates fan translation, come on down.
Okay, let's finish it up now. We only got 5 minutes anyway. Anyone closing thoughts?
John Kelly is a cuck.
I have a closing thought. You two are a bunch of fucking jokers that don't know jack shit. Good day.
Okay.
Fuck all. My closing thoughts are, if you want to ask me why you should be friends with me, you can hit me up on Twitter at jkellytwit. You can also find other means of contacting me, email, whatever else. There you go.
My closing thoughts are try harder, John. Seriously. No, legitimately, try harder.
Stop taking the bait. Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.